Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you to the third annual WWE 2017 Year in Review Awards video, where we break down 2017 in its entirety. And with me, Daniel Guys 412, I got two special guests, Mike Gregario and Robbie One Kenobi. Guys, thank you for joining me.
Woo. Thank you, Dan. Awesome to be back here for the third year in a row. Been pumping us all day. Let's do it.
And it's my pleasure to be with you guys. I'm really happy to reunite with you guys. It's going to be awesome. And I just got to say, who wants to walk with the horse and lions?
Yes, indeed. He's certainly been one to watch for in 2017. There's been a lot of ups. There's been a lot of downs. Overall, I'd say it's probably a C year, just kind of an average year. Some good, some bad. And that's what we're going to talk about. 2017, I can't believe it's December 19th. Where did this year go, guys? It is really it's amazing. Like, it went by in the blink of an eye. Wow. Time truly goes faster every year. And what we're going to do here, we have 20 categories, which can be found down below in the description box, and we will go through them one by one. And without further ado, well, let's see. I think let's start with number 20, and then we'll go up to number 1. Let's shake things up here. So category number 20 we have is our best NXT TakeOver event of the year. And we'll start with no particular order. Let's go with Robbie. Robbie, what is your pick for this category?
All right, so it came down to 3 NXT TakeOver specials for this category because, I really didn't see a bad NXT TakeOver special all year. I do think San Antonio, while good, was the weakest, but it came down to 3 when I was trying to make this pick. But in the end, my pick for best NXT TakeOver was Brooklyn 3.
Good pick.
Nice.
Brooklyn 3. We said this quite a few times. Brooklyn 3 felt more like SummerSlam than that dumpster fire of SummerSlam felt like SummerSlam. I mean, you had a hyped crowd. You had a great atmosphere. You had pretty much every match was good to great, and it felt like a big-time summer extravaganza. You had a really good opener between Johnny Gargano and Andrade Cien Almas. You had a good, solid tag team match between Sanity and Authors of Pain for the tag team championships, which saw Red Dragon, of course, Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish make their not return, but they made an impact shortly after that match. You had a really good, hard-hitting battle between Aleister Black and Hideo Itami. You had a great women's championship match between Asuka and Ember Moon. It was their rematch. And then you had a good, a little underwhelming main event between Bobby Roode and Drew McIntyre for the NXT Championship. But like I said, it was still a good match. And, of course, you ended NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3 in the biggest way possible with the debut of Adam Cole.
Yes. I love that.
So, yeah, Brooklyn 3 is my pick. This one was a little hard because I had, like I said, 3 picks in mind, but I can only have 1. And I got to go with the one that I was the most excited to see, not just because it was on my birthday. It was on my actual birthday, but it felt like SummerSlam. So, yeah, Brooklyn 3 is my pick for best TakeOver of the year.
Well, with that, Robbie, and very well said, that is also my pick for NXT TakeOver event of the year. I looked at them all, looked at the card structure, and to me, it really came down between this one and War Games for which one was the best. But I kind of, like you said, I gave the edge here to NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3. Like you said, it felt like a big show. This felt like a big deal. The build to it was really good. And to me, easily the match of that night was Asuka versus Ember Moon. Easily one of the best women's matches of the year. They told a great story in the ring. And Ember Moon came so close, but yet still so far. Aleister Black, Hideo Itami, hard-hitting affair. We had a fun 12-minute tag title match between Sanity and AOP. Awesome opening match between Cien Almas versus Johnny Gargano. And like you said, the main event with Adam Cole, Red Dragon making their, impact felt on the NXT roster, forming the Undisputed Era, attacking Drew McIntyre, who beat Bobby Roode. So you had a new champion crowned, Undisputed Era debut. Just a lot happened on this show to make it feel like a monumental NXT TakeOver. So that is why it is also my NXT TakeOver event of the year. And with that, we will go to Mike.
All right. Well, guys, let's come out with a clean sweep already, because my pick also was NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3. To me, it was between either this one or NXT TakeOver Chicago. But I really liked NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3 in the fact that a lot of the matches, they're already big marquee matches with a bunch of more developed superstars. Because at the time we had TakeOver Chicago, a lot of the guys were starting to get. It was NXT was starting to get back on track at the highest point it was. It started a little bit like a rebuilding phase, but you guys said enough already. The match between Almas and Gargano was an awesome opener. It furthered the story with Gargano dealing with the aftermath of the DIY split. We have Andrade and Almas, who is an upcoming developing character with Zelina Vega in his corner. We had that great tag match between Sandy and AOP, which was a little bit of an awkward build at first. It's like, okay, these are both villain tag teams, but they still ended up to pull off a pretty good match. I think that was also like a breakout match for Alexander Wolf to the attack of O'Reilly and Fish on all three teams, to the match between Hideo Itami and Aleister Black, which I will admit I set my standards a little bit too high for that match, but for what it was still awesome. And then we had that great takeover match between Ember Moon and Asuka, when we didn't know if Ember Moon was going to finally end the winning streak of Asuka. She didn't, but it was still a strong win for Asuka as well. Her final win, actually, on NXT as well. And then the main event with McIntyre and Rude, yes, it was really a little... it was an all-right match, but definitely wasn't one of the better matches I've seen on NXT. But making up for it afterwards with the debut of Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish just, uniting on the show. Just a good hook as well to show what's next to come at NXT, setting the sights high for the Undisputed Era. So, in my opinion, the best NXT TakeOver of the year was NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3.
All right, we got a clean sweep there, and good picks all around. Now this one, category number 19, this was a new one I wanted to add. This one's going to be really unique and interesting, really personal. This is going to be our favorite live event that we have attended, the best one that we've attended. Now, I'll start with Mike. What is your best live event that you attended this year?
I'm trying to think. I attended 4 live events with you this year. I think we went to a SmackDown, a Raw, an ROH, and the last one was NXT live in Pittsburgh.
We did it all.
Oh, yes, we did. We went to all brands this year. We didn't go into any IWC stuff thing. We should go back to some of those sometime.
We will.
But I got to go with the NXT live event, though. It's just, the first time, because this is the first event I think I had seen for NXT since the days of Balor and Joe feuding. And that was around a time where I wasn't even watching NXT full time yet. So just to, come in to actually, be more familiar with, who's all there. We got to see Undisputed Era in action. We got to see Lars Sullivan and Noe Jose. Aleister Black taking on, I can't remember who that guy was.
Beat some jobber. It was great to see.
Yeah, but still, it was cool to see Aleister Black's entrance in person, even though it wasn't as badass as it would be at an NXT, it was a regular televised event. But we also got to see a nice triple threat match in the main event. It was Almas, Strong, and who was the last person? Adam Cole. That's who it was too. But just an awesome live event. I enjoyed it. That's my pick for my best live event attended. NXT live in Pittsburgh on November 30th.
That was good. That was good, Mike. To me, I'll go with me, and then we'll go to Robbie. Like you said, Mike and myself, we attended Raw, SmackDown, ROH, and NXT. And for me, it came down to ROH and NXT. But I gave the slight edge to ROH just because I thought the first NXT event that I went to was just a little bit strong. Well, actually, I know it was a better show than the one that we got. Not saying that the show we got was bad. I just thought the first time that NXT came to Pittsburgh, it was a stronger show.
Right.
But I'm giving the edge here to ROH it was on October 13th, 2017. It was great seeing guys like Bullet Club, Cody Rhodes, the New Japan guys coming in. I mean, it was just a crazy atmosphere. Hot crowd.
Bubba Ray also, I remember, was there that night.
Who else?
Bubba Ray. Well, Bully Ray.
Oh, Bully Ray made a huge announcement about the future of his career, and thank you for bringing that up. Cody Rhodes, Kenny Omega was there. Just a lot of great talent. And like I said, I'm not that familiar with ROH, so it was nice seeing these guys, along with the New Japan Pro Wrestling guys, come to Pittsburgh And I'll definitely go again. And like I said, that's why it is my best live event that I attended this year. So with that being said, let's go to Robbie. Robbie, what was your best live event that you attended this year?
All right, this category was really easy for me because I only went to one live event, WWE and NXT related this year, and that was WWE Payback in San Jose. And I had a fun time at the show. You know, I didn't have many high expectations for Payback because at the time I was still a Team Blue fan. But you know what? Like I said, I had a good time. I had a fun time at the show. You know, we had a good opener, a very good opener between Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens for the United States Championship. Neville and Austin Aries was a good match for the Cruiserweight Championship. Not as good as their WrestleMania match, but still thought it was a good match. It was cool to see the Hardy Boys in person for the first time in, like, I really don't even remember the last time I saw the Hardy Boys as a tag team prior to Payback. But for me, Payback was just a lot of fun. And seeing Braun Strowman defeat Roman Reigns clean, like, I was shocked because I thought there was going to be some kind of screwy finish in it. But seeing Braun Strowman beat Roman Reigns clean and the beatdown that took place afterwards was great. Overall, you know, like I said, it was the only event that I went to. But for a Raw pay-per-view, I thought it was a pretty good show. It was a fun experience. And, yeah, it's my pick for best live event attended. And what else was I going to say? I mean, yeah, just like seeing Bayley return home to San Jose was great. And the shocker of Alexa Bliss beating her for the championship. And then, of course, House of Horrors.
I was going to ask you about that. What was the crowd reaction like for that? Because I thought I remember they were booing it.
So in the beginning, it started off good because it felt like something really creepy. This last house on the left or on the right, whatever, that Randy Orton has to go into. But when it was just a fight and there was nothing creepy about it afterwards, when it didn't really feel like House of Horrors, they were chanting everything from boring to we want Bayley to CM Punk. So
oh jeez.
Yeah.
And remember, it was at night while it was what? Daylight in San Jose? Like, come on.
Yeah.
Where's the continuity?
And then what killed it was the fact that they had to go back to the arena to finish the match.
Why? You know, back in the day, just do what you did with the Hardcore Championship. Have the referee there, you know?
Right.
Wouldn't that have made more sense?
Oh, yeah. But nope.
We had to build Jinder up.
Screw that. It's over.
We'll talk about him. Don't worry. I'm sure he'll come.
Yeah. But other than that, and with what's his name? With Seth Rollins and Samoa Joe having a very good match, I thought they had the best match of the night. Like I said, overall, it was a good fun experience for me. It was a pretty good show from Team Red. I enjoyed Payback. Just being there and seeing a few of the guys. And I remember the crowd getting into a ruckus because I told you the story, Daniel. There was a guy from Pittsburgh wearing a Pittsburgh Pens jersey.
Yeah, come on. You want to boo me? Come on, boo me. I'll give you a reason to boo.
You know what? When it came to those boos, he was drinking it in.
Man.
Biggest deal of the night. Oh, God. That's great. I'll never forget you telling me that because I put the San Jose crowd on the list. I'm sorry. I had to. Except for you. Everybody but you.
Everyone but you, Robbie. Anyone but you.
Yeah, that's right. Guys, we're missing SmackDown right now. Oh, my God. Oh, I feel so...
geez. Yeah, I'm missing so much right now.
I miss so much.
Yeah, right. Now, I'm sorry. I stopped watching SmackDown a few weeks ago. I'll check the highlights out on YouTube, but there's nothing about Team Red that I'm interested in right now, so I'm taking a break from the main roster.
Don't blame you, man.
You're like, there's nothing you're missing. So, anyways, this is where it's at right here. This is where you're going to get good content. So, great picks all around. Let's move on to category number 18. Let's go with Tag Team Match of the Year. And we'll start off here with Robbie. Robbie, what was your Tag Team Match of the Year? Because there was a lot of good ones. This was a strong year, I have to say, for tag wrestling and WWE.
Yes.
Except hoping there will still be tag teams remaining by the end of the year with how much they're breaking up left and right.
Yes.
Yeah. Ugh. Okay, so my tag team match of the year. At first, I was gonna go with Usos versus New Day at Hell in a Cell because that was an awesome tag team championship match. But then I remembered there was another tag team championship match that actually went down during WrestleMania weekend. It was an insane match that proved why this brand's tag team division was so superior. And it is the triple threat elimination match from NXT TakeOver Orlando. AOP defending against The Revival and Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa, DIY. That match was freaking.
Forgot about that one. That's a good match.
Yes. It shows you once again why NXT's tag team division is so superior. It was an exciting edge of your seat tag team championship match. And like I said, prior to this, my pick was New Day versus the Usos inside Hell in a Cell because that was an awesome match. That further went to show why the New Day and the Usos are the two best teams on the main roster. But honestly, DIY versus AOP versus the Revival, the fact that DIY and the Revival, who were rivals at the time, teamed up against AOP, that storytelling and just all the action that took place in that match, that was a fantastic tag team championship match, and that's my pick for tag team match of the year.
That's a very, very good pick, Robbie. We'll go with you, Mike. Mike, what was your tag team match of the year?
Well, I would like to continue this trend going, as that was also my pick for
Get
tag
the brooms
match of the year. Wait, what?
Get the brooms out. Are we going for a sweep?
We'll see when we get to you, Dan. But yes, my pick was also AOP versus the Revival and DIY. And again, it came down to, yes, this match and Hell in a Cell between the Usos and New Day as well. But I just remember, like, we were watching this match at my house, Dan. I just remember being, like, out of my seat, like, the whole time that match, just, like, jumping up and down. Like, I just couldn't believe what was going on in this match. You have AOP taking on the two possible other best tag teams in the division, DIY and the Revival. And I even like the order of the eliminations in the match, how they took out DIY first because they'd already proven they could beat DIY, but can they beat the Revival? Some good storytelling there as well. But this match was one that I felt that really built AOP. You know, there's a difference between just making like a tag team with just two big, like 300-pound guys, and then there's just being there and that make them look legitimate monsters. DIY and the Revival really threw everything at them. They even put them both in like double submissions or whatnot, throwing them through tables. It was just a great match. It just told a great story. Really made AOP look strong as well. So that's why I gotta give it to AOP versus the Revival versus DIY at NXT TakeOver Orlando.
Very good pick. And now let's see if we are going to go for the clean sweep. My pick for tag team match of the year. It is also from NXT. It features the Revival versus, actually, no, it doesn't feature the Revival because I wrote the wrong thing down. It features Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa versus the Authors of Pain in the ladder match for the NXT Tag Team Championship.
That was a great match.
Over Chicago. I didn't watch that. I'm like, the Revival, they're on Raw. Anyways, wow. What a match that was. It main evented that show. To me, that was an excellent takeover as well. NXT TakeOver Chicago in front of a hot Chicago crowd. But for me, just the amount of pain and punishment. Tommaso Ciampa competed through this match injured. Remember, he was injured going into this match. Yes. And the amount of pain that he put his body through, him and Johnny Gargano, the Super Collider, and just the chaos, the carnage, and of course, what we all remember from this match, the turn.
Oh, yes.
Ciampa
oh, yeah.
Turning on his best friend, Johnny Gargano, in one of the best turns all year that I've seen in a long time. It actually legitimately made me want to see this man, this piece of crap, Tommaso Ciampa, the psycho killer, get everything that he has coming to him when he comes back. Because Johnny Gargano, he's going to kick your ass. You hear me? He's going to kick your ass. And that's a shoot. But anyways, wow. I mean, you could just feel for Johnny Gargano, just the look on his face, and it was great. I mean, it was just the way they did it too. Let's not forget, phenomenal. They did the little logo. You know, they made you think, oh, they're going to go off the air here, and then boom, it happens. I'm like, holy shit. I loved it. I loved every second.
Ciampa said something, and then he just threw Gargano into the stage and just beat the living hell out of him. That was one of the best heel turns I've seen in recent years. And yeah, like, you know, NXT fooling us with the little logo, making you think that's where it's gonna end. Maybe this is the end of DIY. Oh yeah, it was the end of DIY. And Tommaso Ciampa was the one who burned it down.
Yep. I remember I think he said to Gargano, like, this wasn't our moment, but it's mine, before he threw him into there. And also, if you remember, also during the match, Tommaso almost took that nasty bump with the ladder going face first, and Johnny literally, like, you know, ran there and, like, you know, took the bullet for him pretty much. Like, and when that happened, and then when the turn happened, like, you even felt more for Johnny, because, like, he really risked himself for his best friend in that match.
Storytelling, what a concept.
Exactly.
It exists in NXT.
I know. So, yeah, well, to me, this is a clean sweep when it comes to NXT. All of our picks came from NXT, so tremendous stuff. That's not to say main roster wasn't as good with Cesaro and Sheamus versus Ambrose and Rollins. Great battles there, from the Usos and the New Day to the Hardys and Cesaro and Sheamus. I mean, there was just a lot of great tag team matches up and down the card. So great year for tag team wrestling. Hopefully it continues heading into 2018. So with that,
just don't keep deleting tag teams, though. Just don't keep deleting tag teams, though.
Splitting tag teams.
No. So, anyways, with that being said, let's move on to, this will be an interesting category. Category number 17, most underutilized wrestler of the year. And I'll lead things off here, and then we'll go to Mike and then Robbie.
Okay.
My pick for most underutilized of the year was being utilized now, but he wasn't for a long, long time, was Luke Harper.
Oh, yes.
I got to go with Luke Harper. Love this guy. Has so much potential. It looked like at the beginning of the year, they were planning on doing something with Luke Harper, perhaps inserting him into the Randy Orton-Bray Wyatt feud. And yes, Ty Dillinger's another good pick. There are a lot of good picks for this cat. It was not easy. But to me, I picked Luke Harper. Like I said, now he's starting to go somewhere. Will it lead somewhere? Maybe, maybe not. But it's just like, you have this guy. He's talented. He's with Bray. And then he's not with Bray. And then here's what I have a problem with the Bludgeon Brothers and continuity. So let me get this straight. Harper and Rowan split up. Remember the last time we saw them? Weren't they fighting each other?
They were fighting.
Okay.
Backlash.
Wasn't it Backlash? Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So we go from that to they're now a tag team. Really?
Doesn't make sense.
Can you at least give me just give me a reason at least. No.
Nope. We can't do that on the main roster.
You know what I would have done? If I was booking this, I would have had, like, okay, they're on SmackDown. I would have put together like some kind of wild card tag team tournament to crown like #1 contenders for the tag team titles. And I would put them together in a match as like a team, right? And then for like maybe for the match that they're in, like the first round match, they're doing well, but they don't get along with each other. Like, they're like, I don't know if they try to one up each other, but they just don't get along with each other. And then maybe they keep teaming up. And then little by little, even though they're not getting along with each other, the one thing that brings them together is just bludgeoning people and beating them down left and right.
There we go.
There we go.
Oh,
please
wait,
sign Robbie.
Sorry, we're not allowed to do it. We have to.
What does it say again, Mike?
# please sign Robbie.
Exactly.
But it's like, really? Like, that was great. That was at least something. If they could have given me a reason to why they're teaming, I mean, I like the fact, don't get me wrong. They're kicking ass. They're taking names. They're on their way to probably facing the Usos. And I know that that'll be what kick-ass match. Because remember, guys, 2014, the series of matches between the Usos and Harper and Rowan, out fucking standing.
So, they should have won the tag titles then.
Yeah, they should.
They should have.
Yeah, I gotta agree. Yeah.
It's just like Luke Harper could be so much more. And that is why he is my pick for most underutilized of the year. And with that, like I said, we will go to Mike. Mike, who's your pick?
All right, so my pick for most underutilized of the year is probably a little bit of a strange pick because, in my opinion, this person really doesn't really need the current role they're in right now. But just for me, for being a little bit of a late bloomer fan and not really seeing this woman in action too much, I had a little bit of excitement for her returning earlier to WWE earlier this year, just to have almost no direction but get a few opportunities here and there. And I'm talking about Mickie James. I really thought that when she would come back, she'd be like, playing this role, having these feuds like, Bayley, Sasha Banks. Well, she had the match with Asuka last year and whatnot, but get what I mean. But they put her on SmackDown. She was with Alexa Bliss for a while. She feuded with Becky, which that was good, but it was sort of like one of those like table setting feuds for me. And then they had her and Alexa split way too soon. And just for both of them to go to Raw, you could have kept them both together if you sent them over to Raw, and then maybe had them still be the alliance until their feud at TLC against each other. Because when they gave Mickie the opportunity and when she was on the mic, she was killing it. I was loving it. Especially my favorite was the promo the night after No Mercy, when this whole thing first started. I love the line of the thing of saying, like, I was doing things in the women's division a lot earlier before you were wearing a training bra. And then Alexa's like a little bit like, what the heck's going on here? And then Mickie says something like, and it looks like you're doing good the way you are right now. And then the look on Alexa's face, I think that was my thumbnail for the review that night, but that look on Alexa's face didn't quite match Tainara Connie's look whenever she, pulled Nikki Cross out of the ring. But yeah, just a little bit of a disappointment, but I couldn't give her a complete, least improved. I had to go with underutilized because they could have really used her a lot better to put over a lot more of the newer talent.
That's a great point. And Mickie, just, you got her. Why don't you do more with her? So,
what's the point of her even coming back if you weren't going to use her,
Exactly. So that's a good pick, Mike. And we will round things out here with Robbie. Robbie, who is your pick for most underutilized of the year?
Okay, before I give my pick, I just want to say something to Mike. So, Mike, were you talking about this look?
Which look?
Can you see it? Hold on.
Wait, where are you sending this to me from?
Can you see? Oh, I was trying to screen share something.
On the Google Hangout.
Wait, can you actually see it?
Oh, yeah, that look. Well, that's Tainara Conti, yeah.
That's the look when you realize you crossed the wrong member of Sanity.
Yes.
Oh, jeez.
All right. So anyway, getting back to our year-end review, my pick for most underutilized is also Luke Harper because I really felt like they were going to do something with him. He was in the middle of the Bray and Orton feud. He had a really good match with Orton at Elimination Chamber, and then he had the little feud with AJ Styles, and it looked like he was going to maybe be in the main event of WrestleMania and being inserted in that feud, having a triple threat for the championship. But they never did anything after that. He was in a pointless feud with Eric Rowan. And then he wasn't doing anything until they brought him back as one half of the Bludgeon Brothers. It's just like, I think Luke Harper is so underrated and has been so underutilized. Like, I thought this was really going to be his breakout year, and it wasn't. I mean, look what he's doing. Like, yeah, he's having success with the Bludgeon Brothers, but it's like, oh my God, he almost got to be a part of WrestleMania this year in the title match.
And then he went to do completely nothing with him,
Yeah, that title match was so great, right? Boy.
Oh my goodness, that was. I'm going to be talking about this match later. It's my best match of the year. Just kidding, no way.
And we really couldn't build him up to fight Kevin Owens. We couldn't do Owens and Luke Harper or Harper versus AJ in a United States Open Challenge.
No,
right.
That might be something different. Can't do it.
It's too different. You can't do it. Nope.
Anyway.
Yeah.
There's a lot of other
pick for most. I mean, yes, Ty Dillinger. Where the hell has he been in recent weeks?
Nope. He's lost. We have to go find him. Dan, make another sign and say, "Have you seen Ty?" Instead of if you seen Neville like he did last year before he was finally found.
Forgot.
The man that created forgot.
Cedric Alexander, the entire cruiserweight division.
Oh gosh, don't get me started there.
Slater and Rhino. I mean, the list is Apollo Crews.
Oh, yeah. That's another one I was looking
at. Yeah. Apollo. Oh, my God. They could have done things with Apollo. Apollo could have been a champion by now.
In NXT.
Should have been. Yeah, he was called up too early.
Why? Just so he could fight Sheamus? Boy, great plan. You should have a plan when you call these people up. Idiots.
Yeah, I know.
They have let their 30 writers figure it out. Here's an idea. How about fire some of your writing staff? You want to make budget cuts? Cut some of them.
There's too many of them, and they're not all making good decisions, you know?
Exactly. But anyways, good picks all around.
Mm-hmm.
And this is gonna. Speaking of bad writing,
Oh goodness,
this is gonna be a glorious category because there is so much.
Oh gosh.
How dare you use glorious to describe this next?
Yes, please do not, especially with my pick.
Worst storyline of the year. WWE has really turned out some barn burners this year. We've got
good
6 segments that will forever remain etched in the history of, as Jeff Goldblum said in Jurassic Park, that is one big pile of shit, aka 3 hours of Raw every week. So, yeah, I went there. I'm a little salty today. I'm a little fired up. So without further ado, let's start with Robbie. Robbie, what was your worst storyline of the year?
Okay, my worst storyline of the year, and for me this one wasn't really hard to pick because it started off interesting when this first came up, and you were starting to question, you were wondering what could it be, and then we got the payoff. The payoff was just something pointless. And it's not because of the talent involved, it's just pointless. Why are we doing this? So my pick for worst storyline of the year is Jason Jordan revealed to be Kurt Angle's son.
Yes.
Disappointing.
Big disappointment.
Why? Why Jason Jordan? Why did we have to split up American Alpha for this? I mean,
why not Chad Gable?
Yeah, you know? If anything.
I thought it was going to be him because of his Olympic background.
It's a swerve.
Yeah, it was a swerve, all right. It was just a completely pointless one that came out of nowhere. It's just I saw it and I shook my head like, wow, really? They were making it sound like Kurt Angle did something that was going to screw up his family's reputation, legacy, his reputation, and he had a one-night stand with some random woman and gave birth to Jordan.
Stephanie? Well, they did have that. Remember in 2000? That was a really fun storyline.
So, yeah.
Love triangle.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just this storyline. Honestly, I saw nothing. Like, there was no. If it was Chad Gable and it was booked better, and freaking Jordan came over to Raw, and Angle was like mentoring them both, like a Team Angle 2.0, then the storyline would have had potential. And then I always thought, what if Corey Graves revealed that it was all a setup, and he was just using, Gable and Jordan were just using Angle to get to the top of Monday Night Raw.
I don't know. Because I remember people that I knew were actually interested in the announcement. There was interest around this. I just felt like the build-up was good, and then the announcement was.
Yeah.
It's like
they build it up. You have hope, and then usually you're let down.
They shit on you. Yeah. I agree.
Yeah,
that's what nice defecation in the mouth.
Yeah. It would have been really interesting if it was revealed to be Gable and American Alpha went to Raw and they had all the success, and then Corey Graves ultimately reveals that it was a swerve. It was just his way to get them to the top and to get Corey back in the limelight. And then, I don't know.
Complicated. We can't know. We have to dumb it down. Remember, dumb that shit down.
Oh, yeah.
That's great. Nice try, though.
Yeah. No, but that's my pick. But that would have been interesting if Corey Graves actually brought American Alpha to Raw, or he revealed that it was a setup, and then maybe Kurt brings back the world's greatest tag team, the real Team Angle, and you do that match at like
that'd be fun, you know?
Could be.
Nope, can't do that.
Once again, please sign Robbie.
Poor American Alpha. Like, look at how awful their run was on the main roster. What a waste.
They gave them the tag titles, and they barely gave them the chance to defend. They're even coming out saying, "Hey, when are we defending these titles here?"
Yeah.
Like, I'll knock SmackDown during that period when it was good for that. They did not book American Alpha very good. I'm sorry, they didn't.
Definitely
not.
They didn't.
I know.
The whole SmackDown tag team division was just crap.
Yeah, it really was during that time. That was probably the weakest. Now it's good, but of course the rest of the show is just. You got a good tag team division, but the rest is a mess.
Hey, Mike, I called it. You know what I'm talking about.
What? Rusev? Oh, the T-shirt for Rusev Day.
I called it.
Well, I mean, I will not deny. I mean, after the reaction it got, I was a little sold on Rusev this week, but I'm not buying their T-shirt. Not buying the T-shirt. Nope, not buying the T-shirt. But I am slowly becoming a little bit more of a fan of Rusev Day. Thanks for mentioning that in the chat, Ultra.
Rusev Day.
Yes, happy Rusev Day 1.
On the 12th day of Rusev.
Every day is
Rusev Day.
Yes. Anyway,
Rusev is actually real.
It's amazing. That was so good.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, I'm going to be pulling out all the stops tonight.
Yes, we are.
Oh, yes.
Mike?
10 days of Lana. Or 10 leap in Lana's road, like you said.
You're up. You're next.
50 Shades of Lana.
All right. My worst storyline of the year. Guys, before I mention this, we've had a good run this year. Please don't disown me after bringing this one up. I'm going with a storyline that started back in 2016 that was on a few pre-shows and pay-per-views, and it even made the main card of Extreme Rules this year somewhat. I'm talking about this feud. Cedric Alexander, Noam Dar with Alicia Fox. Where should I start with this? As soon as this started back in 2016, I see Alicia Fox eyeing up Cedric. I'm like, no, don't do it. Don't even think about it. They went through it. They inserted Noam Dar in this feud. It made me hate Noam Dar. I have hated Alicia Fox since day one. I just didn't know why they did this. It was one of the feuds that, to me, literally killed my interest in the Cruiserweight division, honestly. And then this feud dragged on for about 8 or 9 months to like June or July, ending in an I Quit match. They had like a couple pre-show matches. They inserted Rich Swann into this. They had that tag match.
Them up. Delete.
Yeah, they had a match with Swann and Sasha against Fox and Dar at Extreme Rules. And then, of course, the worst part of all was I couldn't stand the segments wherever Dar would come out for a match while FaceTiming Alicia, putting her big head up on the Titantron, and she'd be like, throughout the whole match, no am. Guys, I'm not even joking. There was one day where I was watching Raw, and I forgot. I had a really bad day that day, and that was on the TV, and they kept bickering over stupid crap. I was already so annoyed, and that got me more annoyed. I literally still been screaming at my TV, "Would you just shut the hell up?" Pulling off a Jericho there. It made the list all right. Definitely.
Oh, it
Yes, I just remember how cringeworthy that was to sit through, having that appear on Raw. It's good I didn't watch 205 Live because it would make me go even more insane. But that's my pick for worst storyline of the year. It's that crap fest, and I'm so glad it's over. And I was glad that Cedric Alexander just crushed the hand of Noam Dar in that I Quit match in the highlights I saw, and finally ended that reign of terror.
Wow.
Yeah, if I can just say something, like I've said that Cedric Alexander, yes,
underrated,
great cruiserweight champion, but he can do bigger and better things outside the division. Intercontinental tag team champion. I almost said European champion. I missed that title.
Sure, why not?
Yes, world champion.
He can even be a world champion. He's been in the ring with guys like AJ Styles, other champions in ROH. He has potential, but no, for some God who knows what reason, if you're small, you're nothing but a cruiserweight. Hence Hideo Itami.
Yeah, he just looks miserable.
I really hate that. I really hate that they're not gonna. They have to. What's the word? They have to
tone down, whatever.
No. That they have to. What's the word that they have to restrict him to the cruiserweight division when he could be in the Intercontinental title picture or the Universal title picture, especially if he's being associated with Finn Balor.
Oh, yep. Yeah. So scared to put him in there next.
Speaking of Finn, he's about to come up next for my pick. I hate to say.
Yes.
Oh, I think I know what it is.
I do too.
You guys are ready? Willing? Gable. My pick. I hate to do this because I actually do like both of these guys. But honestly, this feud was long, boring, torturous, a giant waste of freaking time that benefited neither individual. I'm, of course, talking about the legendary feud between Finn Balor and Bray Wyatt. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Where do we begin? Okay, you bring Finn Balor back. At a time, I actually thought, oh, a Finn Balor Bray Wyatt feud, actually, this could have been good if there was actual storytelling, if there was an actual purpose for all of this, if this actually led somewhere, I don't know, to Bray Wyatt controlling the demon and using him as a manipulative, like Jekyll and Hyde type scenario with Balor being consumed by the demon and the demon overtakes him, and we can't do that though. I'm sorry.
Anyway, who came up with that idea?
Yep.
Credit where credit's due. This feud, they only had, in my opinion, one good match, and what was that? No Mercy? That was a good match.
The man-to-man match?
Yes.
Man versus man or man to man. That was ridiculous. It should have been like a boiler room brawl or a no holds bar match where they just could have fought, like settle this thing for once.
It was the same shit every single week, and it didn't benefit Finn. In fact, it put him worse off, and it did shit for Bray. So if the feud is not going to, I understand, okay, maybe at least one person can get something out of it. Sometimes both people can benefit from the feud. This feud served nobody well. So what was the point of it? I'm sorry, it just pisses me off, you know?
Remember they kept like teasing it like a couple times like throughout the summer, like it was going to happen at Extreme Rules, and then Great Balls of Fire, and they kept pulling the plug on it, delaying it till SummerSlam.
Well, I can see probably why, because the
Probably
was so bad.
Oh yes.
And then the Pumpkin King.
Oh.
Pumpkin King.
I almost said Sin. Sister Abigail, Bray Wyatt, and Drag. I mean, thank God we got AJ Styles versus Finn Balor. Can you imagine if that match actually happened at TLC?
Oh my
It
gosh.
was horrible. It was horrible.
I mean, you think Finn's bad now, like in a bad position now? I mean, that would have been even worse.
That would have killed him.
I was about to say, yeah, like they almost had one more match just so they could dress up like it was Halloween.
Why? Again, what was whatever.
Prevents his entertainment.
Yes, of course. That's who this is all for. Not us. For the 72-year-old out of touch idiot. Anyways, that's my pick for worst storyline of the year. What's the next category? Let's move on to something more positive, because I don't like to rant and rave on here. I actually do like to talk about the positives.
POP, baby.
Let's talk about the best storyline of the year. And with that, we'll lead off with Mike, and then we'll go to Robbie, and then myself. Mike, what was your pick for best storyline of the year?
All right. I tossed between several ones because there were some good storylines, but the ones I thought were good didn't really go on for too long, honestly. Or the results didn't really end up as I'd hoped for. But so the one that I went with was one that felt as real as it could possibly feel, despite not getting off to a good start, because it went nowhere in 2016. And then right after the Royal Rumble, this picked up really good with an actual injury. And I'm talking about the storyline for Seth Rollins and Triple H for their match at WrestleMania 33. Just the storytelling was there. You know, Triple H turning on Rollins back in 2016 in the Fatal 4 for the Universal title. We didn't see Triple H for months, and this thing was directionless. They weren't teasing anything between them. That was the whole thing with the whole few months with, you know, Jericho and Owens facing Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins every single week. But then to, you know, Seth Rollins had to put his Royal Rumble spot on the line against Sami Zayn, and then Triple H's music caused the distraction. And then it went as far as having Seth Rollins show up at NXT TakeOver. Like, see, there's something different. A main roster competitor. Continuous storyline has nothing to do with the show itself is going on right now. Literally takes over the show. And then Triple H escorts him out. Because Rollins was taken out of the Rumble because they lost to Zayn. And then the promo Triple H cut on Raw that Monday just explained his actions, saying how, you know, he's been trying to let it go since he did what he did, because, you know, he wants to be just a creator and not be that destroyer anymore. But then he finally said he was done after Rollins came to NXT. And then when Rollins came out to confront him, that's when Joe made his surprise debut, which made me feel better because I was a little pissed off he didn't debut at the Rumble. But he came out and just beat down Rollins, and he actually legitimately re-injured Rollins' knee. And it felt real. And it was one of those things that's like, how do you sit there? It's like, okay, what's going to happen next? What's to do with Rollins? It's like, I always want to know what was going on. And the build to it, making it a non-sanctioned match, and it all made sense. You know, Rollins is hurt, but, you know, if he wants to have this match, fine. but you can't sue Triple H, you can't sue Stephanie, you can't sue Vince, you can't sue the company at all. The match they had at WrestleMania, it was all right. Wasn't as good as I hoped for.
Too long. The match was way too long.
Yeah, it was too long. I mean, but still, I enjoyed it for what it was. But I just remember just how real this match really felt. I mean, how real this feud felt like once it really picked up after the Rumble. So that's why I got to go with Seth Rollins versus Triple H.
Great pick, man. Great pick.
Very good. Very good stuff. Robbie, your pick for best storyline of the year.
Okay, so this was one of the categories that gave me a little bit of trouble. This one was a little challenging because I tried to think of what was the best storyline of this year, obviously, as the category states. And yes, Rollins versus Triple H was one of my considerations because it was a good, strong feud for what it was. It would have been even better had it happened had Triple H kept showing up back in 2016 when the feud first kicked off, when he screwed Seth Rollins out of the Universal Championship. But my storyline, and I guess you could consider this a storyline because it was really the evolution of one particular wrestler. And my pick for best storyline of the year can be summed up in these words.
Nobody is ready for Oscar.
Oh, boy.
That's great.
So that's my pick for best storyline of the year. It was ultimately the solidification that Asuka was the Empress of Tomorrow, the most dominant fighting machine in NXT. Nobody came close, except for Ember Moon, of course. I mean, just what made this storyline, to me, what made it great was that Asuka was further evolved as this dominant fighting machine. She was beating everyone and anyone who got in her way while she was NXT champion. And then came the turn, the swerve that no one saw coming. And it was at Orlando when she fought Ember Moon, and it looked like Ember Moon was going to beat her. And what does Asuka do? She resorts to a heel tactic. She pushes the referee into the ropes, knocks Ember off, knocks her out with a roundhouse kick, and retains the championship. And from there, you started to see Asuka become somewhat of a heel. She started becoming more cocky, more arrogant, and it didn't matter who she faced. Ruby Riott with one T, not two.
Yes. Screw that.
Nikki Cross, Ember Moon, Billie Kay, and Peyton Royce, a.k.a. Catwoman and Poison Ivy. It didn't matter who she faced. She beat them all. And you wondered, would Ember Moon get that redemption? Because she injured, I don't know if it was a legit injury, but she injured Ember Moon and took her out of that fatal four-way at NXT TakeOver Chicago.
And that was legit.
That was legit? Okay.
It was.
Yeah.
But they played it, they added it into the storyline, so it all worked out.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So what I liked about it was they kept building Asuka up as unstoppable, as dominant, but then there was the story of Ember Moon. Could Ember Moon get her redemption? Could Ember Moon finally knock off Asuka? Is she the one to put the one in however many wins Asuka had as an undefeated champion? And even in NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3, when it looked like Asuka may actually fall this time, she still didn't fall. She found a way to beat Ember Moon, and she ended up retiring from NXT, the undefeated NXT Women's Champion. So to me, that was the best storyline of the year because it made you wonder, could Asuka's streak be broken? Could she finally fall, or is she just unstoppable? And there you go.
Yeah, that was probably, like you said, I just love the way that, injury was worked into it. And Ember Moon, she always came so close, but she just couldn't seem to beat Asuka. But the matches that they had, they just kept getting better and better and better. And
exactly.
It brought out the best in both, and that's what a feud should do.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, this storyline had two narratives. One was Asuka's continuing dominance over the women's division, and the other was, could Ember Moon prove she was superior? Two great narratives that made for a great storyline. So like I said, Rollins and Triple H, good, strong feud, but I picked the Asuka storyline simply because, and you saw how much faith NXT had in her, and you saw how she just seemed like a legit unstoppable badass fighting machine.
Don't screw her up, main roster. Don't screw her up.
We'll see. We'll see what happens at WrestleMania.
Your pick.
All right, here we go, guys. My pick for best storyline of the year. Man, I really enjoyed this one from start to finish. Series of matches that these guys had, just the fights that these two had. It, like I said, this feud brought out the best in each other, and I felt that this feud made Braun Strowman into the man that he is today.
Oh, yes.
Of course, I'm talking about Braun Strowman versus Roman Reigns.
Roman Reigns actually in a good category for once.
I'll be fair. I'll be honest. You know, Reigns brought out the best in Strowman. He helped get
he definitely did.
The next level, and they just worked so well with each other. With Strowman, you know, continuously just wanting to beat the ever-loving piss out of Roman Reigns, and it was great to watch every single week, whether he was coming out of an ambulance. And that look, I'll never forget when he returned on Raw, and Roman gave him that look of like, son of a bitch, what do I got to do to beat this guy?
Pretty much.
To the match at Payback, which was all their matches were just fat. Didn't they have a match at Fastlane? I thought that was
they did. Yes,
a really good match. When Strowman threw Reigns into the turnbuckle and the whole thing came off, it was like one thing. When Strowman flipped the car over, the ambulance that Reigns was in, that was great. I mean,
that was jaw dropping.
Put him off the stage like a freight train, just man. Reigns goes. It was just like I can remember so much from this feud. And for me,
survived an ambulance crash too.
Yeah, and he walked away, and it was just like, wow. Like I said, Roman, Strowman, you can't go wrong. Brought out the best in each other, and took Strowman to a whole nother level. So kudos to both guys, and that's why it's my pick for best storyline of the year.
Awesome.
Great pick, Dan. Great pick.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Now, we move on to category number 14. It's going to be a best and a worst. So first we'll start off with the worst. This is worst segment of the year. We had a lot of bad ones. A lot.
Yes.
I'm sure there might be several tonight that are happening, but we won't talk about it. Let's talk about our pick for worst segments of the year. And with that, we will lead off with Robbie, and then I'll go with myself and then Mike. Robbie, what was your pick for the worst segment of the year?
My pick for the worst segment of the year is the perfect example of how not to build to a championship match. And it involves the guy who undoubtedly had the worst championship reign this year. So my pick for worst segment of the year is, I like to call it the many faces of Shinsuke Nakamura. Jinder Mahal's cringe, and you know what? It wasn't just one segment. It was multiple.
Three.
It was three separate segments of Jinder Mahal showing Shinsuke Nakamura's facial expressions on a Titantron. And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, you're Jinder Mahal. You're the WWE champion. You're facing Shinsuke Nakamura. You're building to this match by teasing this guy's facial expressions. That's the best you have as the heel champion. They were just horrible. I feel like they made a mockery out of Shinsuke. It was just those were so freaking cringy.
Seriously.
Yeah. It's like, do you guys remember when Brock Lesnar and Triple H had their feud and Paul Heyman intervened, and Paul Heyman, like Triple H was calling Heyman a coward and everything. And Heyman's like, name calling, you're going to resort to
name calling.
Oh, jeez.
That's what it felt like, guys. Like, really? You're going to joke about this guy's face?
Okay.
That's supposed to make us hate you as champion? We already hate you because you're not the best champion in the world. You should have dropped that title to him at SummerSlam. So you're supposed to make us hate you by making fun of Shinsuke Nakamura's face. And like I said, it did no favors for either guy. And that's the worst way you can ever build up to a world title match. Your world title is being built up, and the champion who's being built up for this title match is making fun of a guy's facial expressions.
Thank goodness that didn't main event.
That's my pick for worst segment of the year. Those were horrible. And it wasn't just one; it was three segments. So those were my
three segments.
Awful.
That was horrible. I hated it. That is on the level with Old Day.
Oh, please don't remind me of them.
That is in a special place in my heart.
No, we don't talk about the Old Day. Old Day's dead.
Awful. It's truly awful. Well, nice segue from that. I'll start with my pick. Guys, there's only one way to describe this one. This is big, guys. This is your life.
Oh, Lord.
That.
Here's how bad this segment was. At the time, this was in May when Raw was really unwatchable. Now it is at least somewhat watchable. So that's really saying a lot. So this was at a time. I actually never saw this segment. It was that bad that I didn't even want to go back and watch it. But from the groundswell of support, from the people, from you, the wrestling fans out there, I had to go with what you guys were saying. I trust what you said. And this, honestly, is the worst segment of the year. Wasn't this so bad that they edited it out of the YouTube clip or something? I don't know. It was bad.
Yep, it started wherever Bailey came out with the beatdown.
Yeah, Mike, you had the honor of watching this, didn't you? Live.
I never saw this live. Never. I'm not even going to go back and watch it.
That's good. So none of us have been subjected to this horror. They might use this in for torture, to torture people. Just put on this segment. This is your life from the May 31st edition of Raw, I believe. Make sure I get that right. May 29th. Sorry. Yeah, go back and watch that on the network. Won't miss much. I mean, it didn't help Alexa. I mean, Alexa's still doing okay. Bailey, though, she never recovered.
This destroyed Bailey. Well,
she needs to be like that thing clear. She needs to be like brought back to life. She's on life support.
I'm surprised we haven't done a worst booked wrestler of the year category, because I would give it to Bailey. They killed Bailey, and I'm so pissed off.
Bailey.
I'm so pissed off.
Bailey buddy. Bailey buddy's whatever the heck they say.
And I wanted to rip my ears off when he said that. They're like
Byron.
Booty Saxton. Oh my, Booty Saxton. I think they're little sheep who will mark out for the littlest things.
He Vince's hand going up his ass, like he's literally. Oh, everybody. He's like a ventriloquist.
The Bailey Buddies, Booty-O's, the Fashion Files. Fashion Files almost made worst storyline of the year.
That went nowhere. Who attacked them?
Yes, nowhere.
No.
Nope.
This is why I don't care.
This is why I stopped watching SmackDown. This is why here and there I watch.
That's why we're not watching tonight.
The Fashion Files almost made the worst storyline of the year pick for me, but honestly, what's worse than that is Jason Jordan as Kurt Angle's son, because the Fashion Files actually was entertaining back in like a few months ago, but yeah.
And they were
they were supposed to be concluded at Battleground, guys. Remember?
Oh, that show. We will talk about Battleground.
We will.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about Battleground.
Special place for that.
We'll talk about Battleground.
So, with that being said, Mike, let's round out this category of shit. What do you got?
All right. Well, I guess we'll be going 2 out of 3 again, because my pick also, Jinder Mahal making fun of Shinsuke Nakamura's face 3 times on SmackDown. 3 times. Not 1, not 2, but 3. This is the best way your champion is going to rattle off your opponent, by making fun of their face. You know, this story had no their match at SummerSlam other than Shinsuke Nakamura beating John Cena clean on SmackDown, which that was an awesome moment to see.
That was pointless.
Yeah, it made it a little pointless after that. And also, keep in mind, too, Jinder kicked out of Cena's freaking AA right before SummerSlam. If anybody remembers that. But yes, really, I'm sitting there the whole time thinking, is this the best you got? This is how you're going to make fun of your challenger, by making fun of his facial expressions. The Singh brothers laughing hysterically like little children in the ring. I'm like, if Shinsuke comes out and he's pissed off, like pissed off as in like, he was mad when he returned when Samoa Joe tried to put him out for like 12 weeks in NXT in 2016. If he comes out like that, I'm going to be pissed. Because I'd be just standing on stage laughing and saying, is that the best you got? But it did lead to Nakamura saying, and I can say it in his voice, well, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. But yes, that was my worst segment of the year. Those 3 segments of Jinder Mahal making fun of Shinsuke's face, just awful. And I can't say this is your life, Bailey, because I've never seen that segment to this day, and I never will.
And remember, Mike, it's called The Moneymaker.
Screw that.
Money. Oh, Miz, we miss you. I can't wait till he comes back. Anyway. Let's move on to something that's good. We need some POP, some positivity. Here we go. Best segment of the year. there were some good ones. And I'll lead off here. To me, like I said, there were a lot of good ones. I don't want to make it seem like it was all bad. But to me, the creme de la creme, the cream of the crop, it comes down to one. And it happened on the February 13th, 2017 edition of Monday Night Raw. I'm talking about the one, the only, the festival of friendship. Drink it in, man. Man, was this an emotional roller coaster ride. From the high points to the low points. You were sad. You were happy. You had hate in your... It just constituted every single emotion in the book. This was phenomenal. Owens turning on Jericho by giving him the list of KO. Oh.
Why is my name on the list?
Oh, that is just great writing. And I believe Jericho had his own writer with him. Was it Jimmy Jacobs or somebody like that? I was working with him.
I think so.
So kudos to them. Like, they came up with some great... I enjoyed the Jericho-Kevin Owens feud.
Oh, yes.
Good stuff. But this was the apex. I mean, it's just everything you could accomplish. Got heat on Owens. Made Jericho look sympathetic. Turn. Boom. Boom. Through the glass. I mean, it's just like, wow. I love this segment, and I gladly watch it again. Festival of Friendship, best segment of the year.
The creation of Kevin. I will not forget where I went to WWE shop. I think for a few days they actually did have that on sale on shop. I can't get to my house, Chris. I mean, you're not even wearing pants.
Oh, God. This is a kid's show.
Oh man,
that was great.
Or
now
sculpted in, man, with that sculpture they had.
Oh, jeez, that's great. I love that segment. Now, we'll go to Mike and Robbie. Guys, I will be right back. I got to go get a drink, so I got to go drink it in, man. But, Mike, your pick for best segment of the year, and take it away.
All right. So, I definitely agree. The Festival of Friendship was awesome, but I had to go with this group of segments because I felt that these could be, like, some really overlooked segments because the feud they had, it was good, but it led up to a match that was just meant for a WrestleMania moment. But I just remember how much enjoying these segments and how it made The Miz look even more, credible on the mic as well. I am talking about The Miz and Maurice's total Bella's bullshit lost footage. That stuff with, them just attacking John Cena and Nikki Bella. And what's making me become more and more of a fan of The Miz is, despite him being the arrogant prick he is, there is so much truth in all of his promos that he cuts. Even the ones when he was cutting on Roman Reigns and John Cena right at the beginning of their feud before No Mercy. But this, as well as taking shots and just saying how, you guys are only getting over in the business and successful you are because of, who you guys are with. Going as far as, going on to doing the total Bella promos, just saying, just like, taking shots and going, Nikki, I love you. Rule number one in John Cena's house is whatever the heck it is. You can't put his arms on your tables or whatnot. Oh, John! Okay, are you gonna propose to me? I'm gonna propose. I get a title shot at WrestleMania, or whatever the heck the Miz would say. This eventually led to that promo right before WrestleMania where Cena's like making fun of the Miz and Maurice, saying like, you're saying all this bull crap about us. What about you guys? You guys don't have this. You guys don't have this. And this is before Maurice was pregnant. Was you're making fun of Nicole for not having any kids. You guys remember how many years and you have how many kids? Oh, that's right, none. And he ball taps Miz and goes, "Where you find blanks down there, sport?" But I just remembered getting back to the segment about the total Bella's bullshit lost footage. That to be like, with some segments that are like, I think could be overlooked was like, the Festival of Friendship, Bray Wyatt's cabin burning down, a couple other really good segments we had this year. But I just had to go with those. I feel like those don't get the recognition they deserve, and especially with how good the Miz on the mic was involved in those segments. So I had to go with those segments as my best segment of the year.
Very good pick, Mike. And I apologize for the noise. I'm eating some pretzels. Robbie, we'll go over to you for your best storyline of the year.
Oh gosh.
Okay, so originally, my pick for best segment of the year was going to be It was originally going to be the the night that Randy Orton burned the Wyatt family compound down, because that segment was just, it was incredible. The atmosphere, like how he's walking around the compound and it's very dark and eerie. I thought that was an awesome segment. I still think it's one of the best segments of the year. But my pick for best segment of the year is undoubtedly not one segment, but a series of segments that ultimately established The Miz as one of the best in the WWE. And Mike, you were addressing it, and I'm gonna further just talk about it. Yes, my pick for best segment of the year is the Total Bellas bullshit skits, because The Miz and Maurice were so freaking hilarious. Everything they did, mimicking John Cena, mimicking Nikki Bella, Daniel Bryan, like Miz shrunk himself to be Daniel Bryan with the beard and everything. And it was just great. I loved it. And a lot of what I liked was how Miz kept it real, like the way he was mocking John Cena and the way that he kept teasing that he was going to finally propose to Nikki, whether it was popping the question, which was a balloon with the word question on it, and popping it, or he was like, Nikki, my love, I have for you a diamond Dallas Page yoga subscription. That was just genius. It was brilliant. It really added fuel to the fire of the Miz and Maurice, John Cena, Nikki Bella feud, and I just freaking loved it. And the fact that Miz and Maurice did it one more time when they got sent to Raw as part of the Superstar Shakeup, that was just fun. I loved it, and it got over so well that like Miz and Maurice have a action figure battle pack coming out with them dressed as John Cena and Nikki Bella.
See, look what good work does.
Yeah, but yes, John Cena. The shit, my mic on. Yeah. Anyway, guys, the Total Bellas bullshit segments. Those are my pick for segment of the year. They were just so funny. Miz and Maurice were priceless. They were hilarious. I mean, the little things they did to make fun of the Bella Twins and John Cena and Daniel Bryan, the little things like,
what? Perfect. You know what? What? Reload!
Oh, gosh.
That's perfect.
Yeah, so that's my pick for best segment of the year. And yes, I agree with you, Daniel. R.I.P. the Ryan Ward era.
Yes.
It's gone, and it will never. And The Rock means never come back.
Damn shame. He was one of the best in the business.
He was.
You can still go back and watch it on the network and enjoy that time.
Oh,
yeah.
So that's the important thing.
Yeah.
So great picks all around, and we'll go on to our next category here, which is category number 12, least improved wrestler. And we'll lead things off with Robbie, and then go to Mike and then myself. Robbie, what is your pick for least improved this year?
My least improved wrestler is someone that I was really excited to see because they were building this person up. They were hyping this person up for a few weeks on SmackDown Live, and then when they finally got into the ring, while they had some solid showings, there was nothing about this person that really stood out to me, especially after this person was reportedly doing house shows with NXT to try and get better. And as much as I love this person, I have to put them on this list. So yes, they made the list. This one for least improved wrestler, but as much as I love this person, I have to, I keep it real. My pick for least improved wrestler is Lana. Lana, I was really excited when I found out she was going to wrestle. I mean, she did have one match last year, which was the match, the tag team match at WrestleMania 32 on the pre-show. And then I heard that she was going to NXT and she was doing matches there on the house shows and she was getting a little better. So I was like, oh, that's cool. I look forward to when I see Lana come back and whatnot. And then they hyped her up for a few weeks. The Lana promos where she's dancing and they say that Lana's coming soon. And during this whole time, guys, I was like, please do not be another Emelina. Please do not be another Emelina. And it wasn't. But the thing was, Lana just wasn't good in the ring. She had a solid outing against Naomi at Money in the Bank, and JBL was saying, oh, it was one of the most incredible performances of all time. Well, it was a solid performance. And then Lana went on to face Naomi, 2 more times after that, and she still lost. And I never saw anything that looked impressive about Lana going up against Naomi other than her showing at Money in the Bank. And she hasn't wrestled since. You guys notice that?
Yeah,
nope,
that tells you right there.
Yeah, they ended her competitor run, her singles run. So she's back to being a manager, and she's not really doing much with Tamina. I love Lana.
Make her ravishing again.
Put her back with Rusev and Aiden English. Who cares?
Definitely. I love Lana. I do hope to see her improve in the future, but she's my pick for the least improved wrestler of the year. She tried, but I didn't see anything impressive or improved.
They should have at least turned her babyface, I felt. If they were going to make her look like that much of a loser, at least turn her babyface, because the crowd will at least gain some more sympathy in some ways, you know?
They wanted to see her, you know, and
Yeah.
just the whole breakup with, like, maybe you could have turned them both babyface and kept them together because they were a great act. But instead, I felt like you split them apart. Look, I mean, Rusev's kind of gotten back on his feet, thank God. But Lana, it's just, she's with Tamina. And I'm sorry, I never have been impressed with Tamina. She's another one, least improved.
Oh, yes.
I mean, Lana, when Lana laid out Naomi the week of Money in the Bank, she did that sit down driver move. I was like, damn, I was impressed. Like, that was a really cool move. And you know, I saw potential with Lana. I was really hoping they'd do big things with Lana, and just she's not the best in the ring. So I have to put her on this list.
It maybe over time she could get better, but you know, it just goes to show you it does take time.
Yep.
It does, yep.
Okay. So real quick, guys, while you go, I'm gonna do like Daniel. I'm gonna grab something to eat real quick. So I'll be back. Yeah.
Mike,
Right, sure.
So Mike, your pick for least improved of the year.
All right. This one I was tossing back between several different wrestlers. I actually almost put Mickey down for least improved, but they gave her that opportunity for a title, so I couldn't, put her as least improved for that. But I had to go with someone who we just talked about a couple categories ago, because just how sad this person's downfall has come in WWE. And Bayley, my goodness, like, how did you screw her up? You just made her just this lovable fangirl who knew how to be serious, though, when the time came. Like, remember her build to her second match against Asuka back last year? She knew she had to step up mentally if she wanted to beat her, and like, that was a Bayley I could get behind. But nope, they bring her up. They were just like, delusional fangirl who was only talking about herself, just talking about, her love for poems, This Is Your Life. Bayley said that whole feud with Alexa Bliss, especially into their Extreme Rules match, kind of stick on a pole. Bayley doesn't know how to get extreme. That killed her pretty much. And ever since then, she has not recovered at all. They've thrown her into a few random, number one contenders matches. And the saddest part was when she got her number one contendership to face Alexa at SummerSlam, but then got injured, wasn't able to defend it. When she came out there to just address the situation, she was booed. Bayley was booed for pretty much getting injured. That's just sad.
That should never have happened. Didn't happen on NXT. You know why? Because the booking was good.
Oh, yes, exactly. But nope.
Agreed.
Yep.
So while I finish this pretzel, I'm going to give you my pick for least improved of the year. You're going to like this one.
Sure.
I think long and hard because there were some good picks here. Like you said, Lana, Bayley. But for me, my least improved wrestler of the year is Randall Keith Orton.
Blandy Orton.
Blandy. Oh, Blandy. Could he give a shit? I mean, when he's on, he is arguably one of the most talented in the company. I'll give him that. I like Randy Orton when he's on, when he cares, when he gives a shit. How long has it been since we've seen him give a shit?
I don't know. I mean, he had a match with Kevin Owens a few weeks ago against SmackDown, which he looked a little bit better there. But yeah, most of the year, he doesn't give one crap at all. I
mean, well, honestly, the material he's given, I can't blame him.
Right.
But it's just like, I turn him heel, do so. I don't know.
Styles for the title before Mania.
Something. It's just like, you have them, you might as well do something with them. And what they've done, the feud with Jinder, awful.
Oh, please don't mind.
Ray feud was going somewhere, and then it just went. After that, he burned the compound down, which was a really great segment. But I felt that it was all backward. After that, it's like they didn't know what to do.
Right.
You know, like the feud just fell apart, and it got worse and worse
and worse and worse.
I won the Royal Rumble. Now I give up my opportunity. Now I want it back. Like, why the what?
Made no sense.
Why would you give up? Wouldn't he? He should have let Bray win the Royal Rumble if he was a servant. Here, I will eliminate myself. You win the Royal Rumble.
Right. Nope. He had to insert Roman Reigns in there at number 30.
Let's not talk about that, shall we?
Right. Yeah.
But anyways, talking about Blandy. Blandy Borton. I like you, Blandy. I want to see more out of you. And if not, get the hell off my TV. End of story.
You already made the list, so.
He did.
Oh, yeah.
That was my pick for least improved of the year. And with that, let's go to most improved of the year. And I'll start with myself, if I don't mind.
Sure.
My pick for most improved of the year. Here it comes. It is the one. The only. Are you ready for it?
Sure.
You ready for it?
I'm not finished with you yet, Roman Reigns.
Thank you, Braun. Great to show up. There he goes. Braun Strowman, the monster of a man. Man, I saw this guy make his debut on Monday Night Raw. The best episode of Monday Night Raw that I ever went to, July 25th.
2016.
That was it. That was the best. It was the greatest episode of all time. It was so good that when I saw Strowman that night, I didn't say I knew he'd be in the position that he is. But I was like, this guy has potential. Because before that, honestly, I didn't really see much in him. But over time, it got better and better and better and better. And now he's fighting Kane. Okay, so he was doing pretty good up until that Kane stuff. But no, honestly, he has improved so much. His battles with Roman Reigns, the Big Show, the Fatal 4-Way at SummerSlam, just Cena, the good man. You know, it's just like, wow. Man, this guy has come a long way from being originally in the Rosebuds. Let's remember
about that. I saw that the other day, yes.
Oh, this is fucking stupid.
Don't be a lemon, be a rosebud.
No. Just
no, thank you.
So, anyways.
You know what, for the heck of it, rosebuds, you just made the list.
Man has come. And now he is challenging for the Universal Championship in a triple threat match that honestly nobody wants to see. Wow. I'm not blaming him. I'm blaming whoever booked that match. But anyway, Ron, you've done good. You've done good. That's why you're my pick for most improved of the year. And with that, let's turn things over to Robbie.
Well, Daniel, they say great minds think alike.
Here we go.
And
I'm going to do it again.
Most improved wrestler is also Braun Strowman. I mean, think about it. When Strowman came in 2015, he was the black sheep of the Wyatt family. You know, he was their big monster, their enforcer, but he didn't really move well in the ring when he first debuted. There were rumors, I remember going around the time of WrestleMania 32, that Strowman was going to face The Undertaker.
Mm.
And a lot of us just didn't want to see that match because they didn't think it was going to be great. They thought it was going to suck. They didn't really like Strowman in the ring. And then as they started to build Strowman as a monster when he returned on that July, what was it,
25th.
25th, yep. Right. July 25th episode of Monday Night Raw in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And he crushed a little dude by the name of James Ellsworth.
Any man with two hands got a fighting chance.
And let's keep this in mind. Ellsworth went on to become one of the most popular guys on SmackDown. This dude who would come in just for a cup of coffee to get squashed by Strowman became one of the most popular dudes on the Blue brand.
Still unreal.
But anyway, Strowman, from that first night in Pittsburgh, he was just destroying guys. And then he said he wanted competition, and he got the feud with Sami Zayn. But I feel like this year he's really improved. You can see you can see the improvement in the ring, having great matches with Roman Reigns, even going as far as having a good big man match with the Big Show. He was a machine in the freaking Fatal 4-Way match, just kicking the crap out of everybody, just incapacitating Brock. He should have beaten Brock for the championship at No Mercy. But yeah, Braun has just come a long way since his days in the Wyatt family. So that's why I have him as most improved wrestler.
Great pick. Mike, are we going for the clean sweep?
Well, I agree with you guys completely about Braun. However, though, I left him for another bigger category, but I will get to that, of course, later. So I wanted to give somebody else this recognition because of that. My pick, I didn't think of too many other people on the main roster that really improved that much. So I went with somebody down NXT. I went with a guy who I think really built himself up as a really strong babyface who is, a strong contender for the NXT Championship. He's had a couple shots this year against Bobby Roode and Drew McIntyre as well. He's put on a couple other great matches. I'm going with Roderick Strong. A great match, just starting at the beginning of the year. He was just new, but he wasn't really had much of a character yet. They, just had this segments of introducing of who he really is, how he's really out there for his family and whatnot. He had a great feud with Eric Young. Their match at TakeOver Chicago was awesome. I love the psychology he played in that match as well. To also, just have this feud with Bobby Roode. He got to beat Bobby Roode clean for Roode's last match on NXT. He had a great match against Drew McIntyre for the NXT Championship as well. And he's back in contention as well as he faces Lars Sullivan tomorrow night for the NXT Championship Fatal 4-Way #1 contenders match. And I think he was, of all people in NXT, I think he was one person who I think improved drastically throughout the whole year as a character and a wrestler as well. So that's why I want to give my most improved wrestler to Roderick Strong.
Oh yeah, Roddy's a great wrestler. But I feel like this year, because remember, when he came in last year, he came in towards the end of the year, he was teaming up with Austin Aries.
Yes.
So we didn't really see much of him. And then this year, he's made a name for himself. He's established himself as a future champion and a top NXT title contender with the guys you mentioned, the likes of Bobby Roode, Drew McIntyre. Really good match with Eric Young. And I too like the psychology and the storytelling of that match because, like I said in my NXT TakeOver Chicago review, when you fight one member of Sanity, you're fighting everyone in Sanity. And I really like the storytelling of that match. So yeah, that's a great pick. Roddy, Roddy's never been a horrible wrestler, but I feel like he had a better year in 2017, the year that made him the year that made him a must-see guy in NXT.
Yes, definitely.
Very good pick, Mike.
Yes.
Now we'll round things out with Robbie. Robbie, your pick for this category.
We just
did me.
Yeah.
Oh, we did.
Remember, I was like, well, Daniel, they say great minds think alike. You're like, oh, here we go.
Never mind. Okay. Well, we'll start off with Robbie. Actually, that's what I knew. There was a reason I brought up your name. Robbie, we're going to start off with you for the next category, which is the worst match of the year. And there's been a lot of bad ones, but what is your pick for the worst match of the year?
I can sum up my worst match of the year in 2 words. Punjabi Prison.
Screw that. Screw that match.
Oh, no.
There's a reason these matches haven't been done as much in the WWE, and Orton and Jinder's match at Battleground was
classic.
A prime example. I mean, it was boring. I had no interest in this match, and it doesn't help that it was part of one of the worst pay-per-views of the year. It may appear on my list later on. Wink, wink. But Punjabi Prison was horrible. I hated it. Like, I wanted to give it a try because it was Jinder's match and whatnot, and we were still in those phases of the Jinder Mahal title reign, but it was boring.
The peak of the title reign.
I hated it. And then, of course, you had the Great Khali come out. And
oh my gosh.
Why?
I will not forget my reaction when he came out.
You were pissed.
I didn't even say anything. I literally just got up, walked out of my room, went across the hallway, and almost threw up and just screamed, "Why?"
There he goes out the window.
Right? Why?
He should have did the no.
Yeah.
So bad.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, this one's gonna be painful. This category.
Yes.
I have to go to therapy after this.
What was I gonna say?
Anything else? Because there's not really that much to say.
No, there is not much to say. That match was horrible. I hated it. It was boring, and it's the worst match. I mean, yeah, there have been some bad matches throughout the year, but that was, if we're talking WWE and NXT, that was the worst in the company. Like, and it just happened to involve the worst champion of 2017.
Yep. I think that pretty much sums it up there.
Yeah, and let's not forget, this is also the year that the Walking Chia Pet became the Cruiserweight champion.
I thought that was Randy Orton. He has a pet on his head.
Oh, gosh.
Anyways, they might start selling those soon on WWE Shop.
Oh, man.
Chia.
Oh, jeez.
How you doing?
Oh, my gosh.
I shouldn't have said that. All right, let's move on now. I'll go next if you don't mind.
Sure, go ahead.
For the worst match of the year, Bayley versus Alexa Bliss. Kendo. Oh, Extreme Rules 2017. Need I say more? No, I do not. I honestly have nothing else to say. That says it right there. Kendo stick on a pole.
I hate those matches.
Really? As the Miz would say. Really? Really?
Really?
Really? It's great. It was a great match. The women, I love the women. You grab them. Anyways, get out of here, Donald. Get the hell out of here. Go back to the cockroach-infested White House. Maybe you and Vince can discuss policy. Anyways, yeah, this was bad. This was awful. It was a giant waste of time, and nobody benefited from it. Mike, what's your pick? Seriously, I have nothing else to say.
All right. So I usually, in this category, always go with, like a big pay-per-view match or some big main event match, like, Brock and Braun, that, like, disappointed big time, No Mercy. But there was this one random filler match that happened earlier this year that just really stood out to me, because just how the way it just all went down, I just remember coming out just like, what the hell is that? Like, it was just so stupid the way how it all came out. It just drove me nuts. It was a match, I think it happened, it was a Raw right before WrestleMania, and it was the night that Mick Foley got fired and Stephanie was, punishing everybody who just showed support for Foley. Actually, before I get to this match actually, I think, took place right before the segment where our boy in the house, I'll get all rated R, Xavier Woods, was asked, so is there anything you'd like to tell us? WrestleMania, actually, or whatnot. But anyways, getting back to this, the match I'm talking about was a 4-on-2 handicap match. Sheamus and Cesaro taking on Enzo and Cass and the Club with their WrestleMania title shot on the line. Why did I pick this? They had Enzo and Cass coming out, who right away you're thinking they're not going to get along with the Club at all. They're not. There's no way. But they came out and literally just cut this really good promo saying how they wanted to take Cesaro and Sheamus out of the match so bad. And then the Club come out. They just start brawling with them right away. Pretty much just fed Gallows to, they took out Gallows and they fed Anderson to Cesaro and Sheamus. And they just stood there and watched Cesaro and Sheamus just squash Anderson, making your tag champions look terrible and making Enzo and Cass look like idiots because they just said they wanted to take them out, but they just let them win the match. What sense did that make at all? Like, what was the point of that? Besides having Cesaro and Sheamus be punished for, supporting Foley before being told, have a nice day, guys.
It's a great event, ain't it?
Mike,
all out.
Mike?
Yes?
Can you do the way Triple H said it to Foley?
Oh, have a nice day. I just, I mean, that probably wasn't the worst of all matches, but I just remember just being like, how like this, like PO, like the execution of how that match went down. So that's why it stood out to me. An honorable mention, though, I had to throw out there really quick, though, the guitar on a pole match. Remember that, guys?
Oh my God!
You win by hitting your opponent with the guitar.
A Jeff Jarrett specialty.
Can I? Let's throw one more in there. Trick or treat street fight.
Oh, dude, I hate those.
With like the oh.
And who? Oh my God, who was in that match? It was Beauty and the Man Beast versus the Club.
The Club, yes.
Santa Claus and I don't remember.
Oh.
Yeah.
Pure entertainment, guys. Pure entertainment.
Are you not entertained?
Well, okay. Well, speaking of dressing up and Halloween and all this stuff, you have. I'm looking on Twitter right now. You have the New Day dressed up in Christmas costumes. Rusev is dressed up as Santa Claus.
What? What?
Well, and then this happened.
Hogan.
Hogan. Oh my God. I was trying to mention this earlier. Dolph Ziggler just quit.
What?
He forfeited the belt tonight.
Are you serious?
Yeah. He won
You're kidding.
No, he just forfeited it on SmackDown.
Okay. Well, he should have quit months ago.
What was the point of winning the title then?
To put it in abeyance.
What?
Probably just their way of saying, thank you for everything. Here we go. This is how we're going to send you out.
Thanks. Here's a title that means nothing.
Should have kept it on Baron Corbin or put it on Bobby Roode.
Yep.
But yeah, Dolph Ziggler came out and retired. I'm checking the feed right now.
Gosh.
Wow. I mean, wow.
Anything can happen when it's live, guys. I always say that, especially when it's a Horseman live stream. But yeah,
check that out.
Mm-hmm.
Man. Okay then. Where are we? Okay, so we got.
We just finished up worst match.
All right. Here we go.
Have you given your pick, Daniel? I don't think so, right?
Yeah, kendo stick on a pole.
Oh, right. Okay.
We're all good.
Okay.
We're gonna let's go to some positives because I always like positives.
Yeah.
Women's match of the year. I'll start things off here, and then we'll go to Robbie and then Mike. My pick for women's match of the year comes from NXT, and this was tough. There were two. Oh man, I have to give an honorable mention. But first, my women's match of the year: Asuka versus Ember Moon for the NXT Women's Championship at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3. Outstanding match. Great near falls. Just a great story being told of Ember Moon trying to throw everything in the book that she could at Asuka, and she still came up short. She put up a hell of a fight. Had a ton of respect for her. They went in there and they went to war. Outstanding match. Best women's match of the year by far. Well, actually, it wasn't by far because there was one just as good. So I'm going to give an honorable mention too. Nikki Cross versus Asuka.
Yes.
I believe it was Falls Count Anywhere?
Last woman standing.
Thank you. Okay, last woman standing. Wow.
Yes.
What a match that was. To me, it was either that one or this one, but I flipped a coin. I went with this one, but they were both amazing matches. And wow. Just wow. I'm at a loss of words.
Just how great NXT is at developing talent, and especially giving Nikki Cross an opportunity as well.
I'm reading the comments section. Apparently, Rusev is putting whipped cream on top of pancakes on the announcer's table.
What? What?
That's why I'm happy I'm not watching SmackDown tonight.
Goodness.
Tell me I did not just hear that.
Booker T. Oh.
He's on the weed or something. I don't know what he's on. He's on like drugs. He's like out of his mind.
They're playing musical stairs.
Him and Michael, I have no idea. What was he talking about with the women and Bailey? It was like, I can't remember.
I don't even know.
They were just so annoying. They're getting worse.
Oh, yes.
Do a category for that. Worst announcing. Everybody but Corey Graves.
Well, Tom Phillips. I don't mind Tom Phillips. He's all right.
Tom's cool.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's go to Robbie here. Robbie, what's your pick for women's match of the year?
So you remember, Daniel, how I said that great minds think alike?
Mm-hmm.
Well, my women's match of the year is also Asuka versus Ember Moon from NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3. Like I said, it was just, I think it was the perfect conclusion to Asuka's dominance in NXT. I mean, she did get hurt in the match, but if you look at it from a storyline perspective, Ember Moon, on her second chance, her second opportunity, still couldn't beat Asuka. They had a hell of a match for the championship. I think, didn't Asuka kick out of the Eclipse?
Yep, she did.
Yep.
She kicked out of the Eclipse, and Ember Moon had that look of, oh my God, like, what is it going to take for me to beat this woman? Like, remember Taker's face when Shawn kicked out of the Tombstone?
Yes.
That's what I thought of. They just told a hell of a story. Great women's wrestling match. Once again, shows why the NXT women's division is so superior. Once again, shows why anyone in that division can be made into a top contender, a top star. It was a hell of a match. Ember Moon, you wondered, would this finally be Ember Moon's moment? Would Asuka finally get knocked off her perch? And Asuka managed to find a way to win. She didn't cheat. She made Ember Moon tap out. And that was, in my opinion, the match of the night at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3. The women once again stole the show, like Sasha and Bayley 2 years prior. And it was just an awesome match.
Wow.
And, yep, that's my pick. I mean, Asuka, what more do I have to say about her? And Ember Moon finally got her championship at NXT TakeOver War Games. But I wouldn't mind seeing one more match between them if Ember ever wants to try to exercise that one demon.
WrestleMania would be awesome. Well,
yeah.
Not this year, but probably in like 35 or 36 maybe.
Sure, that would be great storytelling coming full circle, you know?
I was going to say if Asuka wins the Raw Women's title by Mania this year and Ember Moon wants to come to the main roster
do a year-long build, you know, just have Asuka dominate, and then maybe Ember Moon be the one to finally avenge those demons. Wow.
Yeah, right.
They won't do that.
Yeah, that's my pick. That's my pick, Daniel. Asuka, Ember Moon 2 from NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3 is my pick for the #1 women's match of the year.
Great pick. Great pick. And now?
3-1.
Nice. Are we going to get a sweep? We'll have to find out. Mike, what's your pick?
Well, you're right, Robbie. Good minds do think alike. That was my pick also. Asuka versus Ember Moon, NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3. Like, what more can I say? You guys haven't said about this match either. Like, this is a match that had the great storytelling. You know, they built up Ember Moon being probably the most, dangerous opponent Asuka's had to date. Go back to, at Orlando, whenever Asuka realized that Eclipse was a big threat to her. She had to use heel tactics to beat Ember, took Ember out of the Fatal 4-Way match at TakeOver Chicago, making just a triple threat match. And then just to get to this match, the opportunity there as well for Ember to get redemption. But it just showed, she could fire all her best shots at Asuka, but it just solidifies Asuka as Asuka. Asuka's not just another woman on the roster. She is herself. She solidified herself as, dominant and unstoppable in NXT. And that's why I thought it was a good move to, have her relinquish the title and leave NXT as undefeated, hoping they do not screw up on the main roster. But it all just solidified that in that match alone. And again, that could have been the main event for all I care, because how awesome that was. But that's my women's match of the year: Asuka versus Ember Moon, NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3.
Great stuff. Great stuff all around the board.
Yeah.
Man. A lot of good women's wrestling, specifically with that NXT brand, the Mae Young Classic. They really killed it. Main roster-wise, it's just been kind of a mess when it comes to the women's division this year. I hate to say it.
Even though SmackDown
all over the place.
Even though SmackDown was actually giving their women,
beginning of the year.
Yeah, giving their women a chance to shine, and they were giving them the opportunities. They were constantly doing fatal 5-ways, man, to crown #1 contenders. That was so annoying and redundant.
Yeah, it's lazy. Fatal 4-way, fatal 5-way, triple threat. Where's the storylines? Where's the singles matches? Where are the feuds?
Yeah.
Nope. Throw them all in a cluster. That's great.
It's only about the championship here, guys.
The Revival are back?
Yeah, yes, they returned on Monday. Great. Fucking
See, I
excited.
don't watch Raw, so that's why I had no idea they returned.
Say yeah.
So that's why we said that then, huh, Mike?
Right.
Oh my God, no! Couponers tweeting us the Rusev Christmas gifts. Check your Twitter accounts.
Jeez.
All right.
Oh God.
This is a big category.
Well,
this is category number 8. This is match of the year. No pressure. No pressure at all.
Mm-hmm.
So we will start. We'll start with Mike, and then with Robbie, and then with myself. I will be right back. Mike, your pick for match of the year. Take it away.
All right. There were a couple of good matches we had this year, but to me, the one that stood out the most took place at NXT TakeOver Chicago, not between, legitimate NXT stars, but stars from a different brand. I'm talking about Tyler Bate versus the Bruiserweight, Pete Dunne, for the United Kingdom Championship at NXT TakeOver Chicago. I watched this match again the other day. I just want to remind how much I appreciated this match, just for the different style that the United Kingdom division brings. Just all different wrestling, hard hitting, high flying, all the agility and whatnot. And then just a story told there with, Pete Dunne establishing himself as this dominating force. He's going to do whatever he has to do to get that United Kingdom Championship. Tyler Bate won the championship in the tournament. He had a couple good matches against guys like Trent Seven. I think he faced him. I know he had one match against Jack Gallagher and a couple others, but I can't remember who else it was. But this match especially, definitely, established, how great these two were as well. Just made me appreciate wrestling a lot more, especially the United Kingdom division. And then, too, even establishing Pete Dunne as the obvious, Tyler Bate's awesome, but Pete Dunne is obviously the guy to beat in the United Kingdom division as well. And he continues to show that in any opportunity he is given. So that is why that's my pick for match of the year, Tyler Bate versus Pete Dunne for the UK title at NXT TakeOver Chicago.
That's a great pick. That is a very great pick, Mike. And I have a feeling we'll be seeing it again. Just saying.
I think so, too.
Robbie, you're on the docket. Your pick for match of the year.
Well, before I give my pick, I just want to say I got my pizza, I got my Snapple, but I feel like I'm missing something.
Okay.
I just have to ask, where are my Ruby Riot ice cream bars? I had to get that in. I told you I'm pulling out all the stops tonight for this. But my pick for match of the year. Now the main roster in NXT, they each had their fair share of great matches. If we were given our WWE and NXT our respective picks for WWE and NXT match of the year, I'd have 2 different picks. But my undisputed match of the year goes to Tyler Bate versus Pete Dunne from NXT TakeOver Chicago.
Good minds think alike.
Yes.
Indeed. I mean, I was sitting on the edge of my seat watching this match and appreciating the fact that there was no hokey gimmicks, no screwy finishes. It was 2 of the best young British talents in the game going at it to prove which one of them was the absolute best. It was the continuation of their match from the United Kingdom Championship Tournament. And you had Jim Ross and Nigel McGuinness on commentary. So you had incredible athleticism, incredible British strong style. You had their commentary, and an awesome crowd in Chicago, nonetheless. Bate and Dunne tore the freaking house down at NXT TakeOver Chicago. Their counters, their near falls, the fact that Pete Dunne got dropped, spiked on his head. Remember that DDT counter?
Yes.
That was ugly. That was beautiful. I mean, it was an incredible wrestling match, and it was all about wrestling and storytelling. Everything flowed perfectly in that match. It's my pick for match of the year. What more can I say that I haven't already said or that Mike hasn't already said?
Wow. It's just wow. They really put it all on the line that night. They wrestled. They told a wrestling, match from start to finish. And Robbie, Mike, that's why it's also, segue, my pick for match of the year
Clean sweep.
Yes. These two guys, Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne, for the United Kingdom Championship at TakeOver Chicago. What more can you say? I mean, you guys said it perfectly. Edge of your seat. I was just so into this match. And as soon as I saw it, I was like, this is the match. I knew this was my pick for match of the year. I knew it. If it was topped, wow, what a match that somebody else could have. But from, when it was finished, I was like, this is my pick. This will probably be it. And sure enough, here we are, December 8th, 19th. And funny we mention this because tomorrow on NXT, guess what we're going to be seeing? Boy,
The rubber match.
Tyler Bate, Pete Dunne, United Kingdom Championship. What else do we got tomorrow?
The tag title match.
Danny in the Undisputed Era.
Here you go. And wow. I'm really
Rodney
looking forward.
and Lars, I believe, also.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
See you tomorrow.
Yeah, I think so.
So we have the clean sweep.
Mm-hmm.
Can't say I'm surprised. And with that being said, let's move on to our next category. Category number 7. I'll lead off here. Brand of the year. And this was tough. Well, actually, it wasn't tough. What am I saying? It was NXT. NXT, once again, it was a good year, I'd have to say, overall. Definitely not the strongest. I still have to say what would the strongest be? 2015 for me would be their overall best year from start to finish.
Probably.
It was a nice rebound year after, what happened in the draft and what have you, losing all that talent. I thought they did a nice job of signing some new people, pushing some people from the Performance Center and what have you. And so we had Oscar Ember Moon. I like Bobby Roode versus Roderick Strong. I thought that was a good feud. We had the rise of the Undisputed Era. We had Sanity, Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, the turn that was put on hold. We'll come back to that. Andrade Cien Alma, Selena Vega. There was just a lot of great variables. I know I'm missing a bunch of stuff, but from what I can recall here, it's easily NXT, and it's only 1 hour. It helps so much. And sometimes it may not even be the best hour. It might just be okay. But I never watch an NXT show where I say, oh, my God, that was awful. That was horrible.
Why did I waste my time on that?
Exactly. I never have that feeling. So, once again, that's why NXT is my pick for brand of the year. And with that, we'll go to Mike. Mike, your pick for brand of the year.
I just enjoyed that one show on the WWE Network every Tuesday nights at 10 o'clock, that 205 Live. That's the best hour in entertainment. Nah, I'm kidding. It's got to be NXT, of course. SmackDown went downhill. Raw had a bit of a better year. I'll give it that. Somewhat watchable throughout the whole year. But NXT, like you said before, Dan, started off the year, they were good, but definitely not on the level they were right before the draft. Oh, I'm sorry, the shake-up. Well, you can't say draft at all. That's terrible. But start off the year, we saw Shinsuke and Bobby Roode down there. Samoa Joe was making his way out, but it developed like NXT of Chicago as I feel where they got back on that level with the split of Gargano and Ciampa. You had Hideo Itami get one last run as a heel. I thought that was good. The debut of Aleister Black, who I just absolutely always want to put all my money in to see him. We got, AOP having a great year, Sanity, Undisputed Era, the women's division, the iconic duo, Catwoman and Poison Ivy, making their way to the rise as well. Nikki Cross, even as a singles competitor. Ruby Riott, when she only had just one T, was down there as well. Ty Dillinger had some good storylines as well when he was in NXT. Cassius Ohno making his return, bringing a good veteran presence. Roderick Strong, I talked about before. Andrade Cien Almas developing a character and having him getting into a direction as well. And even a few guys in the Cruiserweight division got some appearances down at NXT as well to get themselves some showing as well. So, of course, for the third year in a row, in my opinion, NXT takes it as brand of the year.
Great pick. Great pick. I agree with everything you said there, Mike.
Oh, yes.
Well said. Robbie, your pick for brand of the year.
Not really hard, man. My pick for brand of the year is the most exciting 1 hour on TV every week. It always, gets me it always gets me excited. It always, you know, I'm always excited to tune in. I'm always intrigued by what's going to happen with all this great talent. You know, you don't want to blink because you might miss something. My brand of the year is 205 Live. No, I'm kidding. Fuck that show. No, NXT, man. Need I say more? NXT. Look at everything we got. Bobby Roode as NXT champion. He had a glorious reign as NXT champion. The return of Drew McIntyre, the redemption, the vindication for him. The rise of, I mean, well, not the rise. I mean, the continuing dominance of Asuka. Ember Moon's run, her championship road, or her road to the championship. The ups, the downs, and finally culminating with her winning in her birthplace of Texas, nonetheless, at NXT TakeOver War Games.
That's right, yes.
The rise of the Undisputed, well, they're still establishing themselves, but the arrival of the Undisputed Era, Aleister Black's arrival, Velveteen Dream.
Say my name.
What did Black say to him? Like, revel in your infamy, right?
Yeah, revel in your infamy.
Great feud.
Velveteen
Have to mention that. Great feud and a contender for match of the year. Aleister Black versus Velveteen Dream. Have to mention.
The United Kingdom wrestlers getting their chances to shine. You know, Pete Dunne, of course, is the current United Kingdom champion. Tyler Bate, Trent Seven, Wolfgang, all these guys getting a chance to shine on NXT. The tag team division killing it this year. The split of DIY. You know, Sanity making their waves. Roderick Strong becoming one of the new faces and establishing himself as a must-see guy. AOP tearing it up. The iconic duo, you know, Catwoman and Poison Ivy doing their thing. Oh man, what else? I mean, just NXT. I really can't see them doing, as long as Triple H is in charge, I see them doing no wrong.
Exactly.
Right, exactly.
And speaking of Triple H, another thing I liked was, Mike brought this up earlier, was the fact that Seth Rollins, an NXT alumnus, invaded TakeOver San Antonio to call out Triple H.
Show's called TakeOver, right?
I was gonna say that, Mike. Show's called TakeOver, right?
I'm calling your ass out, Triple H.
Triple H, gonna get your ass kicked by Seth freaking Rollins. I'm man.
Seth freaking Rollins.
Hey guys, watch this. It's Seth Rollins with tears in his eyes as the world crumbled on his shoulders.
The game.
As I ever, everything I ever handed him on a silver freaking platter.
20 minutes. Boring. Triple H. Promo.
I love when Rock did that. That was great.
Who did it? Who did that?
Remember Rock back in 2000? Him and Triple H. That was such a great oh man, one of my favorite.
Great year and a great feud, yeah. Oh, you're talking about he means the game.
Yes, so good. Oh god.
Yeah, my brand of the year is NXT for the 3rd straight year.
Got a sweep.
Yes, no doubt about it.
No surprise. I'm really not. Trust me, I'm really not surprised. All right, then. From brand of the year, let's get into pay-per-views. We'll start with the worst, and then we'll talk about the best. Robbie, your pick for worst pay-per-view of the year.
Battleground.
Mm-hmm.
Battleground. Need I say more? I honestly, other than why did I almost say NXT? Other than the SmackDown Tag Team Championship match and the United States Championship match, nothing on that card was good, great, stood out. That pay-per-view sucked. And I almost picked Fastlane because Fastlane really didn't have many other things that stood out for it other than the Cruiserweight Championship match between Neville and Jack Gallagher.
That was good.
I mean, I could talk about Fastlane on another video because, I mean, we all knew that was mainly just for Goldberg to beat Kevin Owens for the championship. But, yeah, Battleground was war. Like, I mean, I don't go with Battleground just because I feel, I feel like that's when SmackDown really took a dip. Fastlane was what it was, but yeah, Battleground was worse. But Fastlane's not off the list. I mean, Fastlane. I guess Fastlane could be my honorable mention. Like,
yeah.
Or SummerSlam. Besides that Fatal 4-Way, that probably saved the show to me.
I like the second half of SummerSlam.
Yeah, second half was
dumpster
good.
fire. SummerSlam was a dumpster fire. I already ranted about it like the night of the show. But yeah, Battleground for me was the worst pay-per-view. I mean, there's nothing in that pay-per-view I'm going to remember in years to come other than the Usos and the New Day tearing it up again for the tag team championships. I mean, there's nothing. I don't want to remember Great Khali coming back. I don't want to remember Natalya botching the end of her match. That pay-per-view sucked.
Yep.
Oh, man.
Mike, your pick.
Well, I mean, it's pretty obvious. It's got to be Battleground. I mean, it's just one of those shows that, just play into effect also the fact that why does there have to be 2 pay-per-views a month because of each brand? Because this pay-per-view felt like pointless. The build was pointless. Like, why even care? Usos and New Day again had an awesome tag team match. That's an already mentioned, I'd say, for feud of the year also, those two, because those two really tore it up big time. But what else we had on that show? We had the Fatal 5-Way for number one contention, because once again, Naomi can't defend her championship on a pay-per-view. Because how many of them did she not defend her championship? Not her fault, not blaming her, but still, that was ridiculous. What else? Yeah. Oh, we had Rusev and John Cena in a flag match where you have to bring the flag up onto the stage. That just took the air out of my excitement for Cena's return. You had Nakamura and Corbin, who that could have been a decent match if they would have actually tried, but that was disappointing as well. We had the U.S. title match was all right, but it was definitely not the best. And that a really awful looking finish.
Awful.
It was like AJ just let Owens just roll him up like that. And of course, that Punjabi prison match. We already ran about that enough. I already ran about my reaction of just getting up, walking away from my TV, almost throwing up and just screaming out, "Why?" Dan, you were lucky. You already cut out and started doing your review before that happened.
I was like, as Negan would say, I'm going to shut that shit down. God damn. Whoever booked this shit, you're going to meet Lucille. There you go. Wow.
Yep, but that's my worst pay-per-view of the year, Battleground.
Get the brooms out. My pick for the worst pay-per-view of the year is Battleground. What more can I say? I think the best way to sum it up is whoever put on this pay-per-view, and I know who you are. I won't mention your name because I don't like to go there. But Mr. Individual that's in charge of writing this show, you should be locked inside the Punjabi prison match for putting on this type of show. Enough said. It sucked. I mean, it was Sunday Night SmackDown. It didn't need to happen. You didn't need a pay-per-view that month. Thank God they're cutting back. I hope they keep cutting back on these pay-per-views. Way too many. Less is more. Less is more. Hashtag less is more. Not more is more. Nope. So that was just wow. Let's just stop talking about it. Okay.
Please, yes.
Let's talk about something positive. The best of the best. The best in the world. The best pay-per-view of the year. We'll lead things off here with Mike. Mike, your pick for the best pay-per-view of the year.
Well, I mean, obviously, before you made the change and added in the TakeOver category, obviously my TakeOver pick was going to be best pay-per-view of the year. But as far as main roster pay-per-views, despite some stinkers out there like, Fastlane, Battleground, a couple others that cease to kind of disappoint or be kind of average, I had to go with, of course, this pay-per-view. Despite the atrocious name, thank goodness it's not happening again next year, WWE Great Balls of Fire.
Balls of Fire, damn it.
Hashtag WWE Balls. Despite the name, I thought this was still a really good show. We had a couple really good matches, such as the Iron Man tag match between the Hardy Boys and the Bar. They had a really good storytelling match. I like the ending also, make it look like the Hardy Boys could have tied it all back up there. Just the dramatic near falls and such. That was a great match. We had trying to think what else we had on that show. That was the match. That was the night where we had Seth Rollins and Bray Wyatt, despite the feud being kind of flat.
Solid match.
The match was still good though between them. Just that there was no story in that match. We had a decent pre-show match. I remember between Neville and Akira Tozawa. That was good. Misty Neville. And then we had, the ambulance match between Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman. That was brutal and whatnot. Put over Braun Strowman, and Braun Strowman survived an ambulance killer match, killing it as well at the end. Somehow came out alive, looking like a legit monster. Braun Strowman made himself a babyface that night, because the man who, despite being a babyface that's most hated on the main roster, Roman Reigns, tried to kill him. This him trying to destroy Reigns, and this him surviving that ambulance crash made Braun Strowman a babyface, in my opinion. And the main event, Brock Lesnar, Samoa Joe, the build that feud was awesome. The match disappointed me a little bit, but for what it was, I still, accepted it for what it was. But to me, it was a great way to start building up the build for a SummerSlam on the Raw brand. And again, despite the name, I still think it was a pretty good pay-per-view to sit through. Great balls of fire. But don't use that name again. Please don't.
Well, they aren't, so you don't have to worry about that.
Good.
So that's a very good pick, Mike. And I'll go with my pick as well, since this segues nicely. My pick also was great balls of fire. Who would have thought, who would have thunk that a pay-per-view with a name as ridiculous as this, named after the famous Jerry Lee Lewis song, goodness gracious, great balls of fire. I'm sure Vince got a good laugh out of that. I thought, oh God, this pay-per-view with this name, it's just going to shit the bed. But actually, like you said, Mike, this is my pick for pay-per-view of the year. Why? Bray Wyatt, Seth Rollins, solid match. You had Cesaro and Sheamus defeating the Hardy Boys in a very outstanding 30-minute Iron Man match. Love that match. Sasha Banks defeating Alexa Bliss. Solid match with the count-out finish. It's set up for what happened at SummerSlam. Miz, Dean Ambrose, it was all right. Strowman, Reigns, great match right there. Lesnar, Samoa Joe, short match, but a fun, short 6-minute match. So all in all, with everything on this card, that's why I'm giving my pick for pay-per-view of the year to the one, the only Great Balls of Fire. And with that, Robbie, your pick for pay-per-view of the year.
You guys think it's gonna be another clean sweep, or do you think I might pull a rabbit out of my hat and have a surprise?
I think there's a rabbit.
Yeah, I think there's a surprise.
You got a rabbit.
Okay, so my pick for best pay-per-view of the year. Now, like Mike said, if we were just doing one instead of the NXT TakeOver separate category, I would have put an NXT TakeOver special as my pick. But there was one pay-per-view from the main roster that really stood out to me this year, and it is Elimination Chamber.
There it is.
Yeah,
I was waiting for it.
In the live chat, yes, definitely.
Elimination Chamber. Yup. The best SmackDown Live brand exclusive pay-per-view. And that was just going to show you why SmackDown was #1. I mean, Mickie James and Becky Lynch was the opening match. It was a good, solid women's match. You had Tag Team Turmoil for the SmackDown Live Tag Team Championships when American Alpha was the champions. That was a good, fun match. The only low point, so to speak, was that Dolph Ziggler handicap match with Apollo Crews and Kalisto. That was solid, but
you didn't enjoy the lucha things too much, Robbie?
Lucha things.
Lucha things.
Lucha things.
That was so bad.
After that, what else did we get? Luke Harper, Randy Orton. Hell of a match. Probably Luke Harper's best match in the WWE. We also had, I'm trying to think, am I missing something? Well, the Elimination Chamber. Oh, Nikki Bella and Natalya. Yes, how could I forget? A really good women's match. I really enjoyed it. It felt like a fight. I really loved the build to that match. And then, of course, the Elimination Chamber match for the WWE Championship. All 6 guys in that match. It was John Cena, the champion, AJ Styles, Bray Wyatt, Dean Ambrose, The Miz, and Baron Corbin. I like how it set the stage for Ambrose and Corbin, with Corbin getting eliminated and him throwing Ambrose through one of the pods. Bray Wyatt eliminating John Cena and then having that great exchange with AJ Styles in the end. Elimination Chamber, undoubtedly the best pay-per-view of the year. I had a ton of fun watching it, and it just wanted to show you that under Ryan Ward's writing, SmackDown Live was quite a superior show.
And look at that. And look at three women's matches. women's non-title matches. I wonder what happened to those.
Can I throw in? I don't know why we're getting.
Oh, and Alexa, hey! I just remembered something. Naomi and Alexa Bliss also had a good match for SmackDown Women's title. That was when Naomi first won the title, but then she got hurt, so she had to forfeit it. Yeah, but I just remembered that match was good too. So, yeah, 3 women's matches, and 2 were non-title feuds.
Right.
I also want to throw in an honorable mention. I want to say that I really enjoyed the Royal Rumble this year.
It was good, yes.
I thought it was a good pay-per-view. I mean, you had Kevin Owens, Roman Reigns, and John Cena, AJ Styles, 2 outstanding championship matches. You had Neville versus Rich Swann. That was good. You had Bayley versus Charlotte Flair. That was good. And I thought the Royal Rumble was good.
Despite the last few minutes, yes, I still thought it was good.
I know people shitted on it, but I think looking back on it, I thought it overall was still a good pay-per-view.
Yes.
Despite people shitting on it, I still enjoyed it.
Yeah, I the only thing I really liked about the Rumble was Styles and Cena for the title, because the fact that was the only SmackDown Live match on the card, and it blew everything Raw had out the water, was impressive. Royal Rumble match started off good, and then Dillinger coming in at 10, and then it just went downhill for me.
Yeah, so really the undercard was what made that show. The Rumble itself was disappointing.
Yeah,
because of the stakes, it was like very unpredictable, and then just how it ended up going, it's just like, really?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, with that being said, let's now talk about category number 4, worst tag team of the year. We'll start with Robbie. Robbie, who's your pick for the worst tag team of the year?
Well, Mike and I did a video a while back talking about the best and worst NXT call-ups, and I mentioned this team because this team, they're booking on the main roster, is the example of how the mighty have fallen. And honestly, I don't remember one thing this team did this year. It's just horrible. The Ascension. What did they do this year?
Nothing. They're Breezango's best friends who somehow survived that gas attack because they appeared on SmackDown out of nowhere last week when they were building up for Breezango taking on the Bludgeon Brothers.
Exactly. That's why the Ascension is my pick for worst tag team of the year. They did nothing. Remember, Mike, what I was saying? How did they go from being one of the most dominant, destructive teams on NXT to being buddy with Breezango? And, remember my Uncle Rico? I'm going to tell you something right now. We're out there playing patty cake with your friends, Breezango.
Oh, Lord.
I have nothing else to say. I mean, I think the Ascension are a great team, but you would never
something to do
on main roster for the first time.
Wow.
Fix that makeup, for crying out loud. Why does it look always so messy on their faces?
I just don't care anymore.
I think I'm fine with that makeup looking messy because it's a different look. At least they're not trying to. At least it's not like the Road Warriors. Remember how they were like?
Yeah, they're LOD ripoff.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. See, they were.
Well.
Yeah. I'm done. I'm done. I have nothing to say about the Ascension.
Mike, what's your pick for worst tag team of the year?
All right. So, yeah, I mean, Robbie's right. I mean, the Ascension did absolutely nothing this year, but I've, ranted on them how many years now, so I don't care anymore to even put them in this category. The team I got to go is a team that was tag team champions at one point this year, but, of course, I referred to them earlier, were booked like absolute crap, and they shouldn't have been because they were dominating last year with AJ Styles, and then they just fell apart as soon as the brand split happened when they feuded with New Day. I'm talking about the Club, Gallows and Anderson, who just walk around and call people a bunch of nerds. Like, what happened? Like, what did they do? Inserting comedy into them, having them talking about doctors, having them talking about the old day. Just looking
old day.
Yes, should have, definitely. But then, nope, they win the tag titles at the Royal Rumble against Cesaro and Sheamus. I'm like, okay, let's see where it goes from here. Nope, you fed them to Roman Reigns and getting back to the match I said earlier, how they look like idiots in that match against, Cesaro and Sheamus and Enzo and Cass. And just, it's like, what was one point of the titles from the first place? You're going to make them do nothing but lose all the time. Lose! And now they're what? The Good Brothers now just doing Christmas commercials. It's like this isn't them. So just huge disappointments. I can't believe that they're still around. You know, with how good they were in New Japan Pro Wrestling, how they're with Finn Balor, like they were so bad that I can't, even if with how bad Finn Balor's being booked, I couldn't take them seriously if they teamed them up at this point. I just can't.
Nope, that would disservice Balor. I hate to bring him down.
Not that you can bring him down, he's lower than he is now.
I know.
You're right. Wow, we have some good picks here. Now getting on to my pick for the worst tag team of the year. It's the Ascension.
Yep.
They do nothing for me at this point. I don't know why they're still on my TV. So if you're not doing anything with them, just fire them already. Get rid of them.
Go to New Japan or ROH.
I don't know. You know, who cares? It's the Ascension. So, whatever. That's all I have to say. I really have nothing more to say. I'm ready to get into these positive categories. This is going to be the good stuff right here.
Last three are positive.
We got category number 3, Tag Team of the Year. And I'll lead things off here. Wow, this was tough because we had a lot of good teams this year. Like I said, the tag team division was on fire. it was...
I'm on fire! Light them up, light them up.
Burn it down! See, this is better than SmackDown Live, right?
Oh, yeah.
We have no filler on this show.
Nope.
Take that, Mr. Blocks people on Twitter. I won't say his name.
Oh, you didn't know?
That's
Your
all
ass better block somebody!
Delete! Yeah.
Oh, sorry. He's going to block me for saying that now.
Oh. Anyway, where was I? Tag Team of the Year. There's one team. And it's every day. Every single day one. I'm talking about my boys, the Usos. Can I get an Us?
Sos! Sos!
The Usos. Tag Team of the Year. From the heel turn to the feud with the New Day. I don't know why I'm shouting, but I am because it's the Usos. And they're fucking awesome. And they've been killing it since day numero uno.
Day one is H.
It is. They're the Usos. They're the current tag team champions. And they are just great. They're killing it. What more can I say? Usos. That's my pick. We'll go with Robbie. Robbie, your pick for tag team of the year.
My pick for tag team of the year is also the Usos because honestly, they were the most outstanding team on the main roster. Their heel turn back in 2016 was much needed, and them turning heel allowed them just to be themselves, and they've been killing it. You know, they beat American Alpha for the tag team championships, which I really wanted to see their feud culminate in a big pay-per-view showdown because remember how they were feuding earlier in 2016 or like a few months, like yeah.
Yep, started when
it never went like to that ending.
Nope.
Okay.
And then, yeah, after beating the American Alpha for the titles, they had an incredible feud with the New Day, and yes, they traded the championships. I for one am not a fan of like titles flip-flopping, but when these title changes happened, they meant something. It was an incredible feud between these two teams, and not just their in-ring work, but their mic work is awesome. I mean, they came up with the whole 12 days and day one-ish, and they added a little something to their entrance music. They added a little rap. So Usos in-ring, outside the ring as well. They killed it this year. You know, great matches. 3 separate tag team SmackDown Live Tag Team Championship runs. I can't forget that match at SummerSlam on the freaking pre-show. We got that over on the pre-show, and on the main show, we got Big Cass versus the Big Show.
Oh, that's right.
Dude.
Honorable mention for worst match of the year, I'd say right there.
Yeah, there's another one.
Where Enzo ripped to his boxers and tried to pull a Joey Ryan. Like really, we couldn't have seen that for the pre-show. We couldn't have put the Usos and the New Day on the main card.
No, we had to have a shark cage on the main show, so that's why.
Like, put lubricant on himself.
I should have. You know what? I should have put Big Show and Cass on my list of the worst match of the year. But I mean, the reason I forgot about it was because, well, I forgot about it. In Punjabi prison, don't even get me started. That's why it's on my list.
Oh, we already went there.
Yeah, I know. And TN Couponer mentioned the rap battle. Yes, Usos and the New Day just killing each other in that rap battle. That was great.
Good. That was a good say. I like that.
The Usos really had a standout year. This is a year that they deserve to be the tag team of the year. Not 2015 when it was not 2015 when the New Day should have won it.
Oh my goodness.
Wow, just really good stuff right there. Yeah, the Usos on fire. Mike, your pick for tag team of the year.
All right, so for most of the year, I was definitely leaning towards AOP because, like I said, we talked about tag match of the year. You know, they really established him as simply dominating big monsters. But the fact they weren't really used that much in the second half of the year kind of wore me off. So I have to go with what you guys said. I'm talking about the Usos. Now, since day one-ish, since day one of that heel turn, the Usos have revived their career. Just being just the flat, high-flying, face-painting baby faces they were before, who were just, Roman Reigns' family, who just couldn't really, get with the crowd again. That heel turn on American Alpha was excellent. They went on to just get that new swagger and a new attitude they had. And then the feud they had this year with the New Day. Again, you remember back in 2016, they had a feud right before the Royal Rumble. They overdid the match how many times before the pay-per-view actually happened? This time you actually saved the matches for the pay-per-views. They had a good match at the Sin City SmackDown. The only match... the Sin City Street Fight. The only match they had that I did not like was the match they had like a few before Sin City. They had a match against each other where the winners chose a stipulation. I didn't like that, but still, the match they put on, oh my goodness, were unreal. And the Usos themselves, again, as you said before, Robbie, what made the Usos even better is they developed a lot better mic skills, which is a common theme going on with a lot of the SmackDown tag teams as well. They're developing great mic skills as well, but the Usos especially has taken off. Even though they transitioned a little bit back more to a babyface role, I still think, it's working very well for them still because, they're entertaining, they're fun, and the crowd is loving it. So that's why it's another clean sweep here with the Usos, because welcome to the Uso Penitentiary.
Yes,
it's not paranoia. It's the Usos.
Since we're ending it with the Usos, I want to give a shout out to our fellow horseman brother Gene from BSP Wrestling Show. He hasn't been with us for a while. He's dealing with some issues right now. And Gene, we hope you get well soon, man. And we hope to have you back on here. And we hope you have a great holiday. You're still our Oosh, So
absolutely.
We miss you, man. And we love you, and we hope to have you back on soon.
Always
just
our number one Oosh,
man.
Yes.
Well said.
And if the Usos do become baby faces, they need to just stay the way they are. Do not put the face paint back on.
Don't.
No, we're done with that. Yeah. They're fine how they are.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Well, with that being said, we come down to our final two categories.
Good.
Women's Wrestler of the Year and overall Male Wrestler of the Year. We'll start with the women. And we'll start with Robbie. Robbie, your pick for Women's Wrestler of the Year.
Okay, so again, when I first got the list of categories, I had to keep in mind that it wasn't gonna be both WWE and NXT. We only had to make one pick because obviously if we were doing both WWE and NXT, we have a ton of different picks. So obviously I had to think of which women's wrestler had the most dominant year in all of WWE, be it the main roster or NXT. And guys, there's only one person, Asuka. Like I've said in previous entries, Asuka had just a dominant year, and she never lost the NXT Women's Championship. She had to surrender it because she was going up to the main roster, but also because she suffered an injury at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3. But other than Ember Moon, nobody came close to beating her. Nobody.
Nope.
Hey, Mike, we got to say it like Dean Ambrose. Nope. Asuka was just she is a legit fighting machine. I have said it multiple times. And she beat all comers. Ember Moon, Ruby Riott, Nikki Cross, the iconic duo. I think she beat Liv Morgan once. I think she beat Aaliyah. I think Santana Garrett. I'm just saying, like in general, Asuka beat everybody. Everybody lost to Asuka.
And Brooke.
I mean, if last year was a hell of a year for her, this was an even better year just because she was untouchable. No one came close to beating her. And yeah, I mean, Asuka for the second year in a row wins Women's Wrestler of the Year. For me, I mean, what else can I say? Asuka. I mean, I think Asuka says it best.
Nobody is ready for Asuka.
Yay! Woohoo!
The king of sound style.
Yep.
Yeah.
I told you, I'm gonna pull out all the stops.
No. Robbie is now the sound artist known as Robbie.
Oh hell no. I have said this multiple times. I'm an artist, but I will not refer to myself as the artist known as. And I swear I hate when they call Shinsuke Nakamura the artist.
He's a painter. Bob Ross, remember him on the Pink Canvas? Painting Shinsuke, it'll soon be on the network.
Oh my goodness.
Him and Jinder, they can paint pictures.
No. Stop. Stop. I hate it. Was he ever called the artist in New Japan Pro Wrestling?
No.
Nope.
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 Great. Well,
No.
I have a feeling we're going to have a clean sweep here. I really do. With that being said, let's turn things over to Mr. Mike. Mike, your pick for Women's Wrestler of the Year.
Magic Mike.
Oh, I mean, you guys know how much I really, love watching Alicia Fox every week. She tore it up this year. I'm kidding. No, I had to be a smart aleck again here. Don't worry, guys. Yes, this needs to be a clean sweep again. Asuka, no doubt about it. Now, there's times this year I was leaning a little bit towards Alexa Bliss. Gotta give her some credit with the year she had, winning both Raw and SmackDown championships. But I thought, first of all, Asuka's just gonna, be the same thing again. Just winning all her matches all the time. But they booked it in a way that made it even look. Every win felt even more special, more dominating. Just made wins and losses matter a lot more. Building up more opponents, more challenges to come across, taking on like multiple opponents that she did at NXT TakeOver San Antonio and Chicago. Again, her singles feud, non-pay-per-view wise with Nikki Cross was excellent. She had a couple of excellent matches with, the iconic duo, Aaliyah, Liv Morgan, like all the people that Robbie mentioned, and culminating her NXT career with that match against Ember Moon, again, making Ember feel like, the woman that could dethrone Asuka, but didn't quite overcome it. Showed Asuka could overcome anybody. And even so far in the main roster, so far, it's been good so far, but I still hold my breath whenever she comes out because I always get worried. She had a good debut match against Emma. She had a great showing, despite the match not being too good, at Survivor Series, eliminating 3 opponents and being the sole survivor for Team Raw.
Yes.
So I'm hoping, again, like my long-term booking, Asuka wins the Women's Royal Rumble, faces Paige, and wins the title WrestleMania, and goes on to have a nice long reign until that one worthy person that would mean something to beat Asuka comes along. So, of course, Asuka is my Women's Wrestler of the Year.
Well, guys, once again, get the brooms out because my pick for Women's Wrestler of the Year is the one, the only, the longest reigning champion in NXT history, Asuka. You guys,
Daniel, I love it. That is the greatest pick ever. I love it. That she will make NXT great again. She made NXT great again.
Hold on, I think somebody's coming. Who? Oh, Mr. President. Oh, thanks for coming. Oh, here he comes. Wait, I got him right here. Here he comes. Okay, right here. Into the microphone.
Robbie.
Let me tell you, WrestleMania will be it'll be great. And on January 22nd, I don't even know. It's a fake calendar. It's a fake day. I'm coming to Monday Night Raw. And me and Vince, we're going to put on a really great show. You hear me? I remember when I was on Raw and I was backstage and this transvestite, Santina Morella, She came right up to me, and I'm like, "You're a man," and she's like, "I'm a woman." I'm like, "You're fired. Get the hell out of my face." I gotta go. I gotta go back to watching. Linda, I gotta go grab her. I'm gonna grab it real good. Okay.
Wow, look at that. You never know who could show up.
Daniel,
Donald-
I was practicing all day. I was expecting to be like,
Donald-
Robbie, I love it.
Robbie.
This is the greatest.
The president, ladies and gentlemen. He's both Vince McMahon and Donald Trump. It's the same guy. So there you go.
Yep.
Gosh.
It's great. That's what it's all about. Where were we? Oscar. She's
Oscar.
amazing. She is unstoppable. She is undefeated. She is amazing.
Little macho
It's just-
man there.
A little bit, yeah, macho man. Randy Savage, I'm gonna take it to the limit. Take it.
Oh, shit.
I got some impressions. Trust me, I can do a few. Oscar, what more can you say? Seriously, the best. And that's all I'm going to say. Now, this is the one in 20-1. This is the final category.
Brock
The
Lesnar.
be-all, end-all of the main event. Number 1, Wrestler of the Year. We will start with, let's go with Mike. Mike, your pick. Wrestler of the Year.
All right. So as I said before, there was somebody who you guys picked for most improved wrestler of the year that I felt, yes, he was probably the most improved on the main roster, but I saved him for this category because to me, there was nobody else who was, more entertaining, just drew more eyes on the product than Braun Strowman. Like you guys said, what a year he had. Just being just like a tall, whatever the heck you want to describe him as, with the Wyatt family just not really getting anywhere. Just going on a random singles run, starting on Raw, and he just came out. He had a good start in the second half of 2016, 2017. He came out and he slowly started showing us more. I got a little worried at first because he did lose to Roman Reigns at Fastlane, got dumped out of the Honor the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. But after WrestleMania, my goodness, did he take off by destroying Roman Reigns, giving birth to the line of, "I'm not finished with you!" And
Roman Reigns.
I'm going to break Roman Reigns in half. But literally just, constantly just going back, beating him down, like tossing him off of the stage, backstage in the stretcher, flipping over the ambulance, surviving an ambulance crash. He did rise from a dump. He survived being thrown into a dumpster, and he rose from the dumpster. But, it was obvious that he, got the crowd to love him. So they turned him babyface, and now he's feuding with Kane, of course, and going to be in a triple threat match for the title at the Royal Rumble. Probably not going to win it, but you know what? Whatever. At least just don't have to take the pin because, of course, that was a big missed opportunity with him losing to Brock at No Mercy. But still, overall, to me, there was nobody else who dominated the main roster any more than Braun Strowman did in 2017.
Wow. Pick Mike.
Yes.
And that is also, I'll segue, my pick, Braun Strowman. You said it. What a year he had. What a phenomenal year.
Phenomenal. Ooh.
He was another good pick. Trust me. This was tough. What more can you say about Braun from where he started to where he is now? Even though he's in a feud with Kane, take that out of the equation. He still challenged for the Universal Championship. Came close to winning it. Had an amazing feud with Roman Reigns. Had a good showing in the Royal Rumble. Just trying to think of everything here. The ambulance match. Him flipping Reigns over, like you said. Just week after week. Just watching him destroy shit is some of the best parts of Raw. And I can't wait to see what 2018 holds for the Monster Among Men. I really cannot. Should be good. So with that, we'll turn things over to Robbie. Your pick for Wrestler of the Year.
When it came down to this pick, guys, it was not really hard because I looked at the wrestler who did the most this year, and it is Braun Strowman. Yes, he didn't win the Universal Championship like he should have in that match against Brock at No Mercy, but look at everything he's done. Like, if you were to tell me when Braun Strowman first debuted in the WWE as a member of the Wyatt family, that about 2 years later he'd be the most over guy in the company, I wouldn't believe you. Because I saw Strowman and I was like, yeah, okay, he's another big man. He looks, you know, he looks cool, but like, what's so special about him? A year later, he's destroying guys left and right on Raw, and then fast forward to 2017, and you know he hit some speed bumps this year. I don't agree with him getting eliminated early in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. He had a good showing in the Royal Rumble match, and when he was eliminated by Baron Corbin, I was shocked, but I jumped up for Corbin because I thought, wow, that's WWE's faith in Corbin and building him up as a top, you know, monster heel as well. But yeah. You know, even though he lost to Roman Reigns and he was eliminated from the Battle Royal, after WrestleMania, he really, really had his coming out party. The feud with Reigns was awesome. He beat the shit out of Reigns, you know, dumping, you know, throwing him off the stage, backstage, excuse me, you know, flipping over the ambulance, beating him clean at Payback, beating him in the ambulance match, surviving Roman trying to massacre him inside the ambulance, you know that by backing the ambulance into that truck. I mean, and then he survived the freaking dumpster. He survived the garbage truck thing. And then going out there and you know being in the Fatal 4-Way where he pretty much dominated everybody and incapacitated Brock Lesnar. I mean, the way he was one up in Brock after SummerSlam going into No Mercy was incredible. Braun Strowman, honestly, of all the wrestlers in both WWE and NXT, Braun Strowman had the most impressive year, in my opinion. And I was gonna say something about Strowman. I can't remember. Oh, I was actually the night that he said that I'm not finished with you. That was Payback. That was at Payback. I was there. It was on that Raw Talk episode after Payback, like the one that literally took place. But that was when he ran into the door and took the hinges off.
Yep.
Yes.
That was great.
But still, Braun Strowman, incredible year, and I hope he has an even better 2018 and that he finally wins the Universal Championship. Like, I honestly think it should just be, if I was booking, I already said what I would do, but if it was Braun and Brock at Royal Rumble for the title, 3 words: last man standing.
Yeah.
Sure.
Why not?
Because this time, it's going to take more than one F5 to put Strowman down.
It better.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
you know how there's like super kick party and uppercut party? Well, Brock would have to go on an F5 party to keep Strowman down.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Great.
One thing that I want to say before we close things out here about Braun Strowman is the moment I was won over by him, it was nothing that he did in the ring. Actually, it goes back to an interview that he did with Stone Cold Steve Austin on his podcast. And I finally got insight into the man behind Braun Strowman. And that is a very good episode. Look it up on the internet if you get the chance to. Austin talks to him. You learn so much about Strowman, his background, how he wants to learn and do more. And I just gained a great amount of respect for him. And I became a fan of his that day. Like, that is what made me become a fan of Braun Strowman. With that episode of the Austin podcast. Great stuff. Just great stuff.
Yes.
And I want to give a couple honorable mentions for Superstar of the Year. I also want to give one out to AJ Styles, the phenomenal one. Man, he didn't – last year was his year. This year, a little bit of a downturn, but still he went out there every night and, you know, gave his all match after match. You know, he's just one of the best, probably the best in-ring worker. He is the best in-ring worker in WWE. And I'm going to go a little controversial here. You can boo me if I say this, but I'm going to say it. I also think deserving of Superstar of the Year. I'm waiting for the boos. Roman Reigns.
I mean, I won't deny he did have definitely a better year. I mean, the character a little bit better. He has some better promos. You know, he retired The Undertaker and, you know, tried to kill Braun Strowman, but I can definitely say
they had an
probably
amazing
one of better
feud.
years. Oh, yes.
You know, it's just great. He was in the SummerSlam, the main event. He wasn't in TLC. Survivor Series, great stuff with the New Day. I mean, he really – now I love his stuff as the Intercontinental Champion. You know, I know that he's polarizing, what have you, but I've slowly cooled on Roman. I'm not as hating as I was on him as before. And let's face it, look, people want to say he wins all the time, but but look at from the time he beat Taker. Didn't he lose match after match after match after match on pay-per-view? I'm just saying.
Yeah,
he did. He lost in the Fatal 4-Way. He didn't win the Fatal 5-Way. Yeah. He lost in the ambulance match. Yeah.
People need to like understand, yeah, you can hate him or whatever. I'm not saying, I respect everybody's opinion, but I'm just saying to say he wins all the time, it's not exactly true. You have to look at the whole picture. So, but I did want to give him a shout out, pulled on him. And yeah. Anything
sorry, Dan, I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm just saying I think the best way to turn him heel at this point is if he's the one that betrays the Shield.
Well, the Shield, I think now, with Dean Ambrose potentially being out 6 months. Ugh.
Yeah, I heard that.
Oh, he got hurt, right?
Yeah.
Yep. He has like something wrong with his elbow.
Ah, shit.
Yep. So the Shield might have just imploded.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hate to say it. I didn't want to.
Well, hey. You never know. Maybe he comes back in 6 months. They reunite. They kill it for another 3 months, and then
something.
You can do a split there. Maybe you build Roman up enough to where or maybe you can have Seth and Roman team up for a little while, and when Dean comes back, like say Roman and Seth have great championship success, maybe that turns on that little light in Dean Ambrose, and he becomes the Joker.
Yeah, I think he would be the one to turn. I mean, what I was hoping to see is Roman beats Lesnar. You could do a Roman Ambrose feud. We've never seen that before.
Nope, not at all. I
want to see that. I really would. I don't care who's heel or babyface. I want to see the freaking feud. But now, I don't know if it's 6 months. That's hearsay. That was an article that I read. Could be wrong. Could be fake news. But we'll find out more tomorrow. But I know he did have surgery, so I hope it's not 6 months. That would suck.
It would.
It will be.
It would.
Maybe,
yeah. Best wishes to you, Dean Ambrose.
Yep, definitely.
Yeah.
My favorites.
Yeah. And speaking of unfortunate things, don't forget, you can hate Roman, you can boo him, but just respect. I remember a lot of people were giving him a bunch of shit when his brother died.
That's irresponsible.
Yeah, that's complete bull crap.
That was wrong.
Yep.
Yes.
See, they get way too far.
Character, and then there's Joseph Anoa'i, the man, the father, the brother who lost his brother. So respect the two things, okay?
Right, exactly.
Worry about your own lives. Are you that obsessed over somebody else? Come on. At the end of the day, it is just entertainment. It's fun to watch, but I feel like sometimes people get too worked up over it,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Just have to always remember, put things in perspective.
Yeah.
So to rebound things here, because there's a little bad news at the end, let's close things out here. And, of course, I want to say thank you to Robbie. Mike, wish Gene could make it on here, but hopefully we'll get you back on here once again. So shout out to him.
You know what?
You guys can get plugged in for your channels. We'll start with Robbie and then go with Mike.
You know what, Daniel? Hold on. Before we get to the plugs, I just want to ask you guys something. Since this is probably going to be the last video that we do together this year, I just want to ask you guys real quick, what are 3 things you hope to see from WWE and NXT in 2018? Whether it's a match, a storyline, a feud, a character, progression.
Well, funny you should mention that. I was gonna do a video for that, so I don't know if I should spill my cards. Plug.
Maybe, no, I'd like to see the video, so yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
I don't want to say. I want to save that for my.
Let me think about that one more. Yes.
Yeah.
But I got a lot of ideas churning, so we'll see. I am curious to see what happens. Hopefully, a better year. Can it be better? That would be nice.
Yeah.
Here, there's my prediction. A better product.
Oh yeah.
Vince leaves and starts the. I won't say that. I'll save that for the video.
He'll start campaigning for president. He'll run against Donald.
This is the XFL.
No. No.
Give me the cheerleaders. Put the guy in the camera. So bad.
Help me, guys. Help me get to the WWE.
Yes.
It will happen.
Writer for WWE.
We'll get Vince out of there. We'll fire that other asshole that kisses his ass next to him, and we'll pop your.
Wait. Can I do it?
Yeah.
We're talking about Kevin.
I wasn't talking about. I was talking about the guy that blocked me. I won't say his name. Yeah, him too. Well, Mike, you could be in charge of production.
Yep.
Robbie,
Okay.
there's your writer. I'll be your announcer.
Let's do it.
There you go.
Kevin. Bucky Beaver. Done.
Now, corny. That's not wrestling. You motherfucker. Oh, Jim Cornette hates Kevin Dunn.
What?
You motherfucker. I'm gonna start beating your fucking ass.
Move! Move!
Asshole. Dumb shit. I gotta watch that video. That's one of my favorites. That and the John Laurinaitis. Thank you. Fuck you. Bye.
Laurinaitis. I'm the Executive Vice President of Talent Relations and General Manager of both Raw and SmackDown.
Daniel, my name is John Laurinaitis. I'm the Executive Vice President and the General Manager of both Raw and SmackDown. Now, Daniel, swallow your pride and show me some respect.
He was awful.
Oh, gosh.
Hey, he's John Laurinaitis Bella.
That is true, yes.
He's Mama Bella's court or whatever, the courtier, whatever that word is.
Wow. Well, with all that being said, yeah, you guys can plug away.
Go ahead, Robbie.
Yeah, I'll go first since he was gonna let me go. So first off, of course, I want to say thank you, Daniel, for bringing us together. I'm so happy I was off today to join you guys for the 2017 WWE and NXT year in review. I love doing videos with you guys, and excuse me. And of course, you guys can find me on here, Robbie1 Kenobi, ROBBIE #1 KENOBI. I haven't really done a lot of videos in a while. I think if I'm correct, I haven't done a video since NXT TakeOver War Games predictions. I've been pretty busy since Survivor Series weekend, so I'm hoping to get back into the groove with new videos, maybe some Injustice 2 related videos, try some different content on my channel. But other than that, please check out my channel for other videos that I've done. I'm very passionate about what I do. And I've also done fantasy booking videos. And if you guys like those fantasy booking videos, there's a hashtag I've been typing in the live chat for a little while throughout the stream, and I've always promoted it for a little while now. It's hashtag please sign Robbie. If you guys want to see me write for WWE, if you're really impressed with my fantasy booking and my work, send that to WWE and let them know that I want to write for them and I want to make the WWE great again. I want to give them a product worth watching. So thanks again, Daniel, for having me on this channel. It's always a pleasure to work with you and Mike. Always. And yeah, and just cheers, man, to 2018 and for a great year for all of us.
Absolutely.
Oh, it's my turn.
Yeah, Mike.
Okay, yeah, well,
tell us there.
WrestleMania. No. Well, yeah, of course, Dan, thank you for having me on again. The third year in a row I've done this again. I've been pumped for this all day. Just couldn't wait to do this video. Of course, Robbie as well. Great working with you. It's been a fun year, forming our own little group we have and, interacting with other people like, TN Couponer and Ultra and anybody else in the live chat. You guys are awesome. But as always, you can find me here on YouTube at the Club of the Man 1993 doing wrestling videos, video game let's plays, and whatever heck I want to do. And you can also follow me on Twitter at the Man Airboy 93. I tweet during Raw, SmackDown. Well, not tonight because we had this to do.
This is much better than SmackDown.
Oh, heck yes. Give me a hell yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
But yes, you guys can find me there. And as always, please also support my Horseman brothers, Dan, Robbie, and Gene as well. Gene, we hope you're doing well, man. We hope to have you back soon.
Yes.
Yeah, Gene, we do miss you, man. We know you're going through a little bit of a rough time in your life, so we hope you get to watch this. We hope we can bring a smile to your face. We miss you. You're our Horseman brother. We're always going to ride with you, and we have your back, man. So, you need to reach out to one of us. We're here for you.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Well said. And thank you both for joining me for this special Year in Review Awards video. Thank you all for watching out there live. And if you watch this when it's uploaded, like I said, be sure to leave your comments down below for the categories. I want to hear your picks, your feedback. Always enjoy getting that. And Remember to check out my channel here at youtube.com/DanielGuys412 for all my latest videos. Follow me on Twitter at DanielGuys412 for all my latest tweets. And 2017, it's almost over. This will probably be one of the last videos I do on this channel. And I just want to wish all my subscribers and Mike, Robbie, Gene, everybody else out there a very Merry Christmas and a happy and healthy New Year as well.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
And I figured, in honor of the season, there is only one way to close out this video. So as I quote one of the most famous Christmas poems of all time, he sprang to his sleigh, to his team gave a whistle, and away they all flew like the down of a thistle. But I heard him exclaim ere he drove out of sight, Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good